Hello, hello. How is everybody doing today? Good to see everybody out there. Let's talk some fantasy football. Some fantasy football. It'll be nice and fun. Why don't we just all come along for a ride together here? Let's see. Now, how do I share this? How do I share? I want to share it. I want to share it. I want to share. How do I share? I don't even know how to share. I don't know how to do it, guys. Guys, I'm not a Twitch guy. How do I do this? I don't even know what to do. I don't even know how to share it. But that's okay. That's okay. It's fine. We don't have to. We don't have to share it right now. We'll sort it out, you know. We'll sort it out. How's everybody doing? How's all my favorite folks out there doing today? Are we enjoying the day? Are we enjoying our fantasy football action? Let's dive right into it, man. Crazy week of action here. I've got Traden Debo, Kyron, J.K. Dobbins for CD and Addison. I'll take the CD and Addison side here, man. I'll take the CD and Addison side. I think the way you got to look at a trade like this one is just that, yeah, Debo's been overperforming in my book to start the season and throughout to where we've seen today. I think J.K. Dobbins is a fine RB2. I think CeeDee Lamb gives you wide receiver 1 upside, and I think Jordan Addison is a solid wide receiver 2. So I'm all good there. I'm all good there. Colts or Broncos defense. Let's check matchups, man. What are we looking at here? Broncos are seeing the Dallas Cowboys. Great offense. And Colts are out here doing what? What are the Colts doing? Colts get Tennessee. You're taking the Colts every day of the week and twice on Sunday, my friend. Colts every day of the week. I've got a couple in the chat here. Trade Kamara and DK and Laporta for Josh Jacobs and Michael Pittman. Let's go with the Josh Jacobs side here. All right, I like the upside you get out of Josh Jacobs, providing you a really good, consistent touchdown floor. Josh Jacobs is a dog, man. I love even watching the post-game press conference with him the other day. It wasn't even a press conference, sorry, just the locker room action. Josh Jacobs talking to his team, hyping him up, keeping them involved in the game. I like what I'm seeing. Hey guys, depending on where you're watching at, if you're over on the Twitch app or if you're on the tube that is for you, go ahead and drop a follow on over there. The chat experience is going to be a little bit better. If you're over on TikTok, go ahead and drop a follow here so that I can pin your comment and make my chats a bit more readable across platforms. Go ahead and let me know what you guys want to talk about today, and I will be happy to answer them all for you. I got Derrick Henry or Quentin Johnston in the flex. I think you're going Derrick Henry here. I mean, if that QJ is Judkins, I'll be taking Judkins, but I don't think that's what you're referring to here. Thanks, Optics and Willia and Jake. Appreciate you guys. I see Matt Austin in here asking, what kind of package should I send for Scat? I mean, again, tough question, right, guys? Like, are we talking Dynasty? Are we talking Redraft? I'm typically a Dynasty guy, so in Dynasty, I'd need at least a first and second to even consider moving off Scat, and that wouldn't be enough for me personally, but I do think a lot of people would take the deal. If we're talking in Redraft, I think you're probably already in the range of a Lad McConkey, Garrett Wilson. I mean, he's giving you really solid running back numbers on a weekly basis, and not gonna lie, that Giants team is like one of the most fun teams to watch in football right now, and yeah, I would probably be needing a hell of a lot to move off Jackson Dart and Cam Scatterbo just in general. Jake drops the follow and knows what to do. Now I can pin that comment. Thank you, Jake. He says Brian Thomas Jr., Scatterbo, Jennings for Bucky, Addison, and Sutton. Yeah, I'm leaning with my Scat here, man. I'm leaning with Scat. I think I'm good with it. Okay, so here's an interesting one I want to highlight. Aiden, thanks for hopping in, man. Or Jaden, sorry. Jaden, I appreciate you. Guys, again, if you're not already following, go ahead and drop one so that I can pin your comment like this. Makes my life a bit easier here. But Breece Hall or Rico Dowdle? Look, Breece Hall is clearly the better talent and has more upside in a vacuum. That Jets offense is a dumpster fire. And now we're switching to Tyrod Taylor, and we've just got a medley of issues going on in New York. I think I'm just going to be playing Dowdle. I think it's safer. Now, do I think his ceiling is lower on a weekly basis? Absolutely, right? You're not going to be getting any more 40-point games out of Rico Dowdle unless something happens to Chuba Hubbard and suddenly they get to play, the Miami Dolphins, the Dallas Cowboys, and the New York Jets back-to-back weeks again, right? And get the best, most favorable matchups in football. Regardless, Rico comes out. He gives you 17 touches last week, 10 points, a decent performance, averages a little over 4.5 yards a carry. So, Rico's not looking like a bad RB2 flex play, at least in the immediate here. But again, this could change on a weekly basis. You know what I mean? I got Will Martin saying Bucky, Jay Jettis, and Jahmyr Gibbs. For Jahmyr Gibbs and Godwin. This one I'm just going to hold the package of Bucky, Jay Jettis, and Brian Thomas Jr. I think this is a really big pay to go ahead and get Jahmyr Gibbs. And while I love Jahmyr Gibbs, I just don't think it's worth giving up that much on one side. I mean, it's not too much for me. All right, I got Jigsy Live saying, do I drop Chuba to keep Aaron Jones? No, I wouldn't be. I'd probably just be holding Chuba Hubbard here, man. All right, guys. If you're already following here on TikTok, go ahead and just drop your question. I'll pin your comment, no problem. If you're not already a follower, go ahead and drop one so that I can pin your comments here. If you're over on the T-Witch or on the tube that is made for you, if you're picking up the drift I'm putting down, I will say your questions will get answered a lot quicker over there. My chat is a lot easier to read. So if you're not already a follower over on those platforms, go ahead and check me out over there. Would love to see you guys coming through. I got Evan here saying I got offered St. Brown, Nico, and Kamar for JSN and Jalen. Do I accept? No. No, I'm going to hold the package here. I don't think moving from St. Brown to JSN is a big enough jump. And I love JSN. Don't get me wrong. He's actually my favorite player in all of football. And I got his jersey sitting right next to me. So even Mr. Bias JSN here is not going to tell you to do that move. So, all right, I got Adem in here saying, is Scat and Pickens for Puka worth it? Scat and Pickens. Scat and Pickens for Puka. Yeah, I'll probably take Puka there, but not by a lot. I mean, I will take Puka, but not by a lot. I got Real Estate by Petros. Petros, you want to help me get a house, man? I just kidding. I can't afford a house. What are we talking about here? May or Mayfield. I think you got to be leaning and playing Drake May at this point with the rushing upside you're seeing out of him. I got Brayman saying, yo, would you give me some roster suggestions if I gave you my roster on the Discord? Yeah, man, of course. If you throw stuff on the Discord, I normally have the time to get over and check it out. So, of course, hop on over to the Discord. And that is a great segue into those 100 plus in the chat over on TikTok. If you're over on T-Witch or Tube for you. If you're not already a member of the Discord, go ahead and send me a direct message on whatever platform you're on right now that says Discord, or just go over to my website, which is my username, dynastypricecheck.com. And it's also pinned on all my profiles, easy to find, and click the join free Discord button on the homepage. Would be more than happy to have you guys in there and help you out with your rosters on a weekly basis. Evan's over here saying HN in a second for Amika and Pickens. I'm probably just holding Devon here. I'll tell you this much, Evan. If you are a contending roster, I'm just going to hold Devon HN. If you are not, and you are any sort of stuck in the middle retool, then give me the package of receivers. I do think receivers hold their value better in Dynasty, and if I'm not immediately trying to win, then I'm just not going to waste, some of HN's production here. All right, guys. I've got Yadin over here on the tube that is made for you. He says, I have Sutton, Jay Jettis, Egbuka, T-Mac, and T. Higgins. My real weakness is tight end. Should I trade for a higher tight end, and which one of them? 1 second, guys. I'm going to mute my Discord sounds for you. Thanks. Okay, we've got... I have Sutton, Jay Jettis, Egbuka, T-Mac, and T. Higgins. Real weakness is tight end. Yeah, I mean, if it's me, I'm probably just fine moving off T. Higgins here and just, minimizing my risk. Like, if I could go move T. Higgins for, any upper end tight end, Jake Ferguson, Tucker Kraft, Tyler Warren, Sam Laporta, I think I'd be fine doing any of those deals you got in. I think that's totally fine. Brayman says sent his roster in the Discord. Thank you, Brayman. Appreciate you. I will absolutely check it out after I'm done with the live. Appreciate your support, guys. Thanks for hopping into the Discord. If you're not already a member there, would love to see you in there. I've got Walker over on the T-Witch saying Etienne and Debo for James Cook. This one I'll take James Cook pretty comfortably. I'll take James Cook very comfortably there. All right, John over on TikTok is saying Khalil Shakir and Monty for Genty. I'm getting Genty. Yeah, I'll take the Genty side. I'll take the Genty side very comfortably here. Guys, if you're one of the 100 plus over on TikTok and you're not on T-Witch or the tube that's made for you, please drop a follow so that I can pin your comment here and make my chat a hell of a lot more readable. Not going to lie, the other experiences are going to be a little bit better for your chat experience. So if you want to come check me out on those apps, would love to see you over there. But if this is where you're going to stay, no worries. Just help me sort through the chat, would you? I got Caden out here saying Josh Allen and Rachaad White for James Cook and Drake May. Also, what should I do with Nico? Josh Allen, Rachaad White for James Cook, Drake May. Yeah, I'll take the James Cook and Drake May side for sure there. I'm good with that. And what to do with Nico? I think if you sell him now, you're selling him well below value, so you probably just have to hold him, unfortunately. I got Joshwad24. What's up, Joshwad24? Thank you for coming through on the T-Witch. Appreciate the follow, man. It says Kittle and Pickens for Puka. I would take the Puka side here, yes. I would absolutely take the Puka side. I think that's a good way to buy Puka. I think 2 weeks ago, Puka was completely and utterly outside of the realm of purchase, and now you're able to buy him. So, that's kind of where I'm at with it. All right. We got Nick Young in here. What's up, Nicky? How are we doing, man? How are we doing? I've got Chaos Driver, first-time chatter over on the T-Witch. Thank you, my man. Happy to see you in there. And Niori, same with you. Says trade Ramondre for K9. I already have Travion. I would take K9 here over Ramondre Stevenson. And I know Stevenson's been giving you a little bit better production in the immediate. But I was encouraged what I saw out of Ken Walker last night. I know it wasn't maybe the most incredible thing to write home about, but he has 61 yards on 9 attempts. And, if he's able to break one of these big runs off soon here, I think you'll see a big old spike in his value. I've got Chaos Driver over here asking trade Genty and Rice for Bijan and JT. Yeah, I'll take Bijan and JT there. Like, very comfortably. I think you're getting two of the best running backs in the entire league, if not the very best, just outside of Christian McCaffrey there. So I think that's an incredible haul. Dirty Lettuce, what's up, man? Oh, not both. You're saying not both. Trade Genty and Rice for Bijan or JT. You're right. Regardless, I'm doing it. I'd probably prefer Jonathan Taylor, to be completely honest with you. I know it sounds crazy over Bijan, but I think I'll do the Genty and Rice for JT. Dirty Lettuce, hey man, trade Swift and Rico for Henry. Yeah, easy. I'll take Derrick Henry there, man. The Gold Snow, thanks for coming over and finding me on the T-Witch. Happy to see you guys here. If you're not already following, a quick follow would be super, super helpful. He says Judkins and Olave for Saquon, Etienne, and Downs. Judkins, Olave, Saquon, Etienne, and Downs. This is a really close one. Double flex, 10-man PPR. To be frank, man, I think I'm going to hold the Judkins side here. I think I view Judkins and Saquon as a pretty similar range for the rest of this season. And I think Olave is going to outscore Travis Etienne. So, there's my reasoning for you there. Definitely wouldn't have been thinking I was doing that earlier on, but that's where we're at today. Sour Patch on the tube made for you. What's up, man? What could I trade Tet for? Probably like a Kyron Williams type. I mean, you might have to go a tiny bit lower than that. See if I could go Javonte Williams or Cam Scatterbo maybe. But I think both those deals could potentially get done. Elon Musket, what's up, bro? Thank you for finding me over on the T-Witch. He says George Kittle and Ja'Cory for James Cook. Yeah, I'll take James Cook there pretty comfortably. I like that trade for you, man. I like that trade for you. All right, Quinn the Grub. Guys, if you're not already following and you're over on the TikTok, go ahead and drop a follow so that I can pin your comment. Again, if you're not already checking me out on other platforms, it is easier to find me on the T-Witch and the Tube. Definitely got some good viewing experiences over there. You get a nice little horizontal view of me as well in case you're tired of seeing me all vertical. Also, if you're not a member of the Discord already, send me a direct message right now. It says Discord, or go ahead and hop over to the website that's pinned on my profile and click the Join Free Discord button. That'll be giving you even more access to me throughout the week so I can get to your questions, not just on the live stream. Trade Jefferson and Woody Marks for Rashee Rice. I'll take the Justin Jefferson side here. I know Rashee Rice looked really good, but I think you're discounting Jefferson a bit there. Yadin says, so if I can grab a top-tier tight end, should I start Schultz or Mason Taylor? I'm leaning Schultz. Oh, if you can't. Yeah, honestly, Dalton Schultz had a great night last night. I hate to toot my own horn. I had been banging the Dalton Schultz drum kind of for the last several weeks, just saying, in theory, he should be getting more utilization than he was. And, you know, you're seeing 6 targets, 10 targets last night. I mean, this is really great volume from a guy who's, you know, a trusted target for C.J. Stroud. So I think rolling with Dalton Schultz is no issue. Now, that being said, Mason Taylor has another good week. I was a big Mason Taylor guy in the offseason. I still am. I think his athletic prospect profile is very good and lack of target competition on that Jets team. So, you know, I think you have 2 good options there. T-Foles says, I'm 14-0 in Dynasty. Wow, must be a median league. That's crazy. I traded Henderson for Swift and DJ Moore. Yeah, I don't like that one personally, brother. Sorry, man. Not a fan of that one, T-Foles. I'd just rather be patient and hold Henderson here. I think you just took a huge value dip. I mean, I know Henderson hasn't been the prospect we expected him to be, but here we are, you know, just only 7-8 weeks removed from him being like the 103, 104 in a rookie draft. And, you know, I would never be trading the 104 in a rookie draft for DeAndre Swift and DJ Moore. I mean, DJ Moore at this point, to be completely frank, guys, DJ Moore is like a throw-in a trade for me. Like, especially in dynasty terms, like, I don't see DJ Moore as having basically any value. And in fact, I actually just posted a video about it earlier today, but I traded DJ Moore away last night in one of my dynasty leagues, and I'll just show you guys what I did so that you can see it. So you know I'm not out here capping you left and right. Where's my trade history? Right here, maybe? I don't know. Where is it? All sent, completed. How about completed? There you go. All right, well, here you go. You can see it right here. For those of you that can't see it, I traded away Derrick Henry and DJ Moore, and I picked up Alvin Kamara and Ken Walker. This is in a dynasty league. Team's very loaded, as you can see here. We're on a lot of bye weeks, so I guess you're missing a lot of players. I got Kendrick Bourne and Darius Slayton in here, but JSN, Garrett Wilson, Devontae Adams, you know, Ken Walker, got a ton of folks out here. Sorry, guys. Give me 1 second. My door just closed from the wind, and it is hot in here in San Diego. Give me 2 seconds. Go get the ball, Papa. Go get it. Go get it, buddy. You don't want to chase the ball? Okay, you can go back to bed. My dog's very lazy. He's cute, but he's lazy. Okay. Either way, guys, I'll get back onto it now. I got T-Foles saying I'm contending in Dynasty. I want to get McLaurin is trading Jordan Mason in a 27 third worth it. Yeah, easy. Jordan Mason means almost nothing to me as well in Dynasty. James Cena. What's up, James Cena? Thank you for finding me over on the T-Witch. He says, hey, do you think TreVeyon Henderson is droppable? In a redraft format, potentially, but again, I'm just not really in the business of dropping players. If anything, like, there's got to be somebody in your league that's willing to take a chance on TreVeyon Henderson here. And so, you know, what I always say is if you got a guy you're even considering dropping, let's take him with somebody else on your roster. Like, good example would be, okay, here's a Zach Charbonnet, right? He has a good week. Let's go take Zach Charbonnet, package him with Travion Henderson, go to the most running back needy team in your league, and see if you can go get DK. See if you can go get Stephon Diggs. Just anything. I'm way more in the business of trying to make my players do any work for me than just dropping straight up. So that's kind of where I'm at. Elon Musket over on the T-Witch is saying, what do you think I can get for Bucky Irving? I mean, for Bucky Irving, you should be able to get, one of those third-round startup wide receivers. You should be able to get a Garrett Wilson, a Ladd McConkey, at least. Maybe even a Drake London. I think all those guys are definitely in play. Inconsistent AJ over on the T-Witch is saying Jefferson and Marks for Judkins. My other running backs are Kyron and Dobbins. Jefferson and Marks for Judkins. I'll go with the Judkins side here. You were selling pretty low on Justin Jefferson, to be frank. I'm only doing that if I'm extremely running back needy in hindsight. I think you just hold Justin Jefferson here. We got Walker saying only Debo for Cook. Is it fair? No, I want the Cook side by a mile. Jay Weeds, thanks for coming through on the T-Witch. If this is your first time here, hopefully I can help you out and earn your guys' follows. Appreciate you coming through to the page. He says, help. I'm 7-0, and I just got offered Ashton Jeanty for James Cook. Should I accept? Well, if you are in Dynasty, absolutely. I want the Ashton Jeanty side. If this is just a redraft trade, I think I'm just holding James Cook. He's on this high-powered Buffalo offense. Is giving you good production, and if you're 7-0, I don't see a reason to switch it up. But if it's Dynasty, yeah, smash accept. We're taking Ashton Jeanty, and we're just running to the bank there. MT Gaming saying started out a surprising 7-0. I have 526 firsts. That's incredible. Do I look to move 1 through 3? Need running back help bad? Oh, if it's Dynasty J Weeds, yes. Please take Ashton Jeanty right now and do not even think twice about it. That is a steal. Honestly, guys, I got to highlight this for just a second for the hundreds of you guys across different chat platforms here, whether you're on TikTok or T-Witch or the Tube. Okay. Ashton Jeanty was the consensus 101 by a mile in rookie drafts in Dynasty this year, and nobody could trade for him. You'd have to give up an arm and a leg. You'd have to give up Brian Thomas Jr. plus. You'd have to give up, Rashee Rice plus, Kyron Williams, all these things. If someone's going to be reactionary enough that after 7 weeks of football in a Raiders team that looks terrible and go ahead and give you I'll give you James Cook, a guy who some people couldn't even get second-round picks for this offseason, while the contract issues were happening. Now you can print Ashton Jeanty, the youngest up-and-coming running back in Dynasty. This is how reactionary folks can be. So I think you absolutely got to be taking that, Jay Weeds. I do see MT Gaming. Yeah, man, honestly, I think where I'm at with this one is, I'm not in a rush to sell all my firsts, but when you're 7-0, I do think you try to contend, right? Like I am all about winning in Dynasty, even if it means sacrificing a little bit of my future. I do think winning is the most important thing. So if you are in a position to win at 7-0, which you definitely are, I have absolutely no problem sending at least one of the firsts away. A move that I would look to make, man, is first off, if it could even get done at this point, let's send your first. You have 5 of them. Let's send your first and your second away for Christian McCaffrey if the guy would even entertain it. Now, if he's an ultimate contender as well, he probably won't do it. But I would start there. Let's shoot high. Let's try to get the best guy we can. If not, I'd do the same deal for Cam Scatterbo. To be honest, I think that's a great investment for you. You're getting a young running back with tons of production ahead of him, and I like a deal like that. I think we just walk the line. Let's take your first and second, which are going to be late-round picks. And, oh, yeah, you have Scat. Let's just take your first and second, which are late-round picks, and just go shopping and walk the line, right? Obviously you're not going to get Taylor or Gibbs or anything like that, but if someone's still willing to trade Quinshon Judkins, do it. I doubt it, but let's try it. If someone will give you Javonte Williams for your late first, I think that's not a terrible trade to make, to be honest. At this point, Cowboys are ripping. They've got a pretty good schedule here. Obviously get to play Arizona coming up, then Las Vegas. Philly will be a tiny bit tighter, but Kansas City's been giving up plenty. Detroit, they looked pretty staunch the other night, but Minnesota and Chargers after that, you can run on them. I'm fine trying with the first and the second for Devon Achane right out the gate. See if you can do that deal, get that one done. I mean, anything like that, let's just walk the line. And if you can't get anything like that, you know, Javante owner wants a first and second. I don't love giving the second on top of it. Try to work him with a first, give him a depth piece on your bench, see if you can get that one going. I mean, I would do it for a first plus, you know, a throw-in piece like a Braylon Allen or something, you know, or a, you know, or Rico Dowdle, something like that. I'd consider it. But have you explored all the other running backs out there? You know, that's what I'd be saying. I have an offer to send my 26 second and Besh for Kamara. Yep, love that, love that. I think if you can get Kamara for that price, I'm good with it. I think that's a fair deal. I think if you really need to buy a running back on the low, like send the same offer, a second and Besh for Ken Walker. It's a great dynasty play. I mean, Ken Walker will have a better second half of the season, in my opinion, here. And on top of that, he's probably going to go somewhere afterwards and get a ton of production after this year and sign a really solid deal. Outside of that, man, like I said, like the first and second, go to James Cook owner, go to Kyron Williams owner, go to the Bucky Irving owner. I mean, you're probably not going to get a lot of those done, but let's try. Let's try. You know, there might be somebody who's willing to re-roll. Okay, I'm going to hop back over to the Tickety Talk for a second and check out some of the folks in the chat over here. Oh, I see my girlfriend in here. Hi, Rach. Thank you for hopping in and supporting. Guys, if you're not already following over here on the TikTok, go ahead and drop a follow so that I can pin your comments. It makes my life a hell of a lot easier. If you're over across other apps on the Twitch or on the Tube, for you, your chat experience is going to be a little bit better. I'll just give you the heads up. So finding me over there is definitely a good place to be. Stever says, did I win this trade? I traded a Ibuka for Jefferson. Yeah, I'll take the Justin Jefferson side here pretty comfortably, honestly. I've got Peach Fuzz. Peach Fuzz, what's up, Peach Fuzz? He's saying Jay Jettis and Gainwell for Zay and Scadaboo. Honestly, I'll take the Jay Jettis side still here, but I am a huge Scadaboo fan. Like, you guys are hitting my Scadaboo buttons with that one. I got Ladd McConkey over here for Kenneth Walker, and I'm going to just hold the Ladd McConkey side. I do like Kenny, and you guys have heard me talk plenty about Kenneth Walker, but I'm comfortable just holding Ladd here, honestly. I've got MT Gaming said, followed on both. Get clips on TikTok. Been here with you since June. Right on, man. Right on. Thank you so much for riding with me, bro. Since June, you're an OG, man. You're an OG. We ain't been in this game that long. I appreciate you, brother. DT Tuck. What's up, man? Thanks for coming through and finding me on the T-Witch. He says, should I trade my Rashad White for Trey Benson? Now, if this is Dynasty, absolutely. I'll take Trey Benson pretty comfortably. If it's redraft, you know, I think you probably only have a couple more weeks to wait on the Trey Benson side, and I do think Bucky's coming back here. So regardless, I'm going to take the Trey Benson side. But if it's Dynasty, I'm thrilled here. T-Foles is saying, what receiver can I flip DJ Moore in a 28 first for? Again, man, unfortunately, I think at this point DJ Moore is kind of just a throw-in on most deals. I don't think that DJ Moore is going to get you a whole lot. So, you know, I think at that point, DJ Moore in a 28 first, I'd hope you could go get Chris Olave for something like that. That seems like a deal that I think could potentially get done. That's what I'd be thinking, man. That's what I'd be thinking. Josh Wad says Javonte, W, and K for Allen, Javonte, W, and K. What does that mean? Javonte Williams? Oh, Javonte Williams and Keenan Allen. That's what you're trying to say. Javonte Williams and Keenan Allen. Okay. Yeah, I'm pinning comments, Rach. I'm on it. Don't worry about it. I appreciate you, though. I'm pinning comments across both. Okay. What did he say? I lost my train of thought. Okay. That's what I was saying. I was saying that for Javonte Williams and Keenan Allen, for Gibbs and Waddle, I would be going with the Gibbs side here. The Gibbs side, okay? Elon said I traded Quentin Johnston for Ja'Cory, who won the trade. Probably about the same. I don't really, like, unfortunately, I hate to be an ass. I just don't like any of those players, so, you know. That is good. I like flavored seltzer water. Okay, question. Oh, damn, I lost Nick's comment. Where did Nick go? That's okay. Hey, Swaggy, type your shit again. Wait, Devonta Smith and a 27 first for Lad. Yeah, I'd probably still lean the Lad side, especially if it's going to be a late 27 first, but not by a ton. Goddard, Warren, Henry, and Olave for Jefferson and Genty, yes or no? Yeah, I'll take the Jefferson and Genty side pretty comfortably here, to be completely frank. No worries. Rachel is letting the folks know over on TikTok, sending gifts and dropping a follow helps see comments quicker. It's true. I can't pin your comment unless you go ahead and follow, so please go ahead and make my chat a bit easier. I am trying to juggle both the TikTok, the Twitch, and the Tube made for you all at the same time, so it is hard to read all the chats across platforms. I got J-Mac in here saying trade Olave and Saquon for CeeDee and Bucky. I'll go ahead and go with the CeeDee and Bucky side here. Just honestly, I think based off the production you're getting, I like that one. Raymir saying Dobbins and Kittle for Breece Hall and Harold Fannin redraft. Thank you for qualifying there. I am going to go ahead and take the Dobbins and Kittle side, honestly. I just think Denver's a far more consistent offense at this point. You probably got to trust the consistency. Over on the T-Witch, I got Elon asking, do you think that Cam Skattebo is going to regress going further into the season? No, I do not. I'm really not worried about Cam Skattebo. He's a dog. I trust him. He's running hard, and his play style is infectious. I got a question over on the TikTok saying, do I trade Chase Brown? Oh, I lost it. All right, Rachel, I know you're helping. I appreciate it. But I can kind of pin these back and forth too. So sorry, I lost the question. I don't know what you were saying. Trade Chase Brown and Pacheco for Bucky and Marv. Then trade Saquon and Marv for Ibuka and Breece. I mean, yeah, I know, Rach, but I'm prioritizing the comments and talking more on the Tube and on the T-Witch. It's just a better experience, so I'm not going to whip through TikTok questions crazy fast, but I will do my best. Okay. Sorry, guys. I'm just having multiple conversations out here. Trading Chase Brown and Pacheco for Bucky and Marv. I'll take the Bucky and Marv side comfortably, and then you're saying trade Saquon and Marv for Ibuka and Breece. I'll probably just be holding the Saquon and Marv side rather than making that deal. What's a good package to get for CMC? Nothing. You can't pay me to move off Christian McCaffrey right now. He's the #1 player in all of fantasy. All right. I got Connor in here. What's up, Connor? He says, St. Brown for Jordan Mason and Wandale. Rough season. Yeah, that's tough, man. I wouldn't do this deal at all. No chance. I mean, I just think that Jordan Mason is not nearly enough when we're talking about moving off Amon-Ra. It's not even close. So, no, I wouldn't be doing this deal. If you're going to move off St. Brown, you should be able to get Judkins and Drake London, honestly. Like, that's how good St. Brown's been playing, so probably where I'm at there. I got Carmen, I don't know, Carmen, I guess. Carmen saying, I need a tight end for McBride this week. Do I drop who? Drop Judy or Pearsall? Just drop Judy. Judy doesn't mean enough for me here. Prison Mike, what's up, Prison Mike? Guys, if you're one of the 80+ in the chat over on TikTok, please drop a follow so that I can pin your comments, make my chat a bit more readable. If you're over on the T-Witch or on YouTube, or sorry, the Tube made for you, that also would be good. Okay. I've got Amon-Ra in London. Trade away JSN for Javonte/Kraft. I need a running back. Can we do this deal for London, please? Let's hold JSN. Let's hold Amon-Ra and JSN, and let's trade away London for that package. Let's try that one, okay? If it won't go through, then I guess you have my blessing, but I think you still need to be getting more if you're trading Jackson Smith and Jigba. at this point, like JSN is wide receiver, 1 overall, damn near in fantasy, right? So I think I'd need an absolute haul to move off him. Like I'd need Saquon Barkley, Teteroa McMillan, and Tucker Kraft. I'd need like a whole half starting lineup to consider moving off JSN. So I'd rather try this for London if it's me. Okay, I've got Clipperbot saying, did I win? I sent Tyler Warren, Chuba Hubbard, Tez Johnson for Odunze and Kamara. Yeah, man, I don't love sending away Tyler Warren just in general. I love Tyler Warren. I think he's incredible. But for the package you did get here, I do think that you got a W. I am a big Rome Odunze guy, and now with the Kendre Miller injury and Alvin Kamara, having that PPR upside, I think you're going to get some really good runway for the rest of the season. Just as a heads up also, guys, we got 100 plus over in TikTok here. If you're not already following, please drop a follow so I can pin your comment, make my life a lot easier. Drew, try not to spam the chat for me, bud. I will try to get to everything as I can. If you're over on the T-Witch or the Tube made for you, a little bit easier for me to read the chat and a little bit of a better display over there. So go ahead and check me out on those apps if you guys are frequents. Would love to see you over there. But what I was going to say as far as running backs go here, guys, is if you were looking for a running back trade target at this point and you're a contending roster, I think Alvin Kamara is your guy. And I know a lot of people have been a bit down on Kamara. It's not just because of the injury. I wanted to highlight here, and I'm going to pull this up because I'm going to talk about it a bit. This week on Wednesday on my radio show, San Diego Sports Radio 760, if you're already not keeping up with me there, go ahead and try to join the Discord for me. It's pinned on my website. That's pinned on my profile. Just a big join free Discord button. I'll be streaming the radio show through the iHeartRadio app over there so you can catch it if you're not local to the San Diego area. But what I wanted to bring up with Alvin Kamara here, guys, is fantastic trade target for my teams that are anything above 500 right now and are looking like a playoff contender. Let's look at this playoff schedule now with no Kendre Miller, okay? You're getting Carolina in the first round of the playoffs. You're getting the New York Jets in the semifinals, and you get to go play the Tennessee Titans in what's probably going to be the toilet bowl between the New Orleans Saints and the Tennessee Titans and be a great game for the championship, okay? Like, that is about as good of a playoff schedule that you can ask for from a running back perspective. And now with no Kendre Miller in front of him, Alvin Kamara has free room to roam. So, potentially, could be your league winner here. I'm just saying, all right? Alvin Kamara is a must-buy for me if you are in redraft and you need running backs for down the stretch. Musket is over on T-Witch saying, what do you think I could get for Chuba Hubbard? And do you think he's going to be the main rusher for the Panthers? I do. I still think it's Chuba's backfield. Money talks more than anything. They gave him a big deal this offseason, and they love him. So I do think that Chuba is going to be the guy. Now, Rico Dowdle's played well enough to earn himself at least 45 to 50% of this touch split, so it's going to be a 50-50 split moving forward. However, I think Chuba's still the long-term guy. Dowdle's on a one-year deal, so you could still give me Chuba as like a flex-worthy player every week and potentially RB2 upside if he starts getting some of the red zone touches again. I've got Dirty Lettuce over on the Tube made for you. He says, one more for you. Do I trade Jordan Mason and A.J. Brown for Kyron? That would be a yes. I'd probably do this deal if I'm running back needy and need a more consistent running back, to be completely frank with you. All right, guys. We definitely had a lot of folks in here. Drew, I want to make sure I get to you. He says, trade Amon-Ra for Javonte and Olave. I have JSN Tet, Brian Thomas Jr. Yeah, I still just think you could get more for Amon-Ra if you shop him to every other team in the league. I would have to imagine that you could go buy Saquon on the low and still get a receiver kicked back to you, like Saquon and Tet. I'd prefer doing that deal. But if this is the only thing you got on the table, Drew, I'm fine doing it. To be frank, though, like, again, this just kind of seems like a deal to me that it's like, hey, I got an offer, I'm going to take it. Like, I like to be really diligent when I'm trying to make big trades like this and move off, wide receiver 3 overall in fantasy. Like, I think you should send the Amon-Ra offer to every single player in the league and see if you can get their best running back plus something kicked back. That is the value I think he deserves right now. Reese is up here saying, which Texans wide receiver should I take on waivers? Kirk, Noel, or Hutchinson? I think Noel. If anything, he looks pretty encouraging, and I like his prospect profile. I've got Don saying, do I trade JSN and Sutton for Waddle and Puka? It's just such a lateral move. No, I'm probably just holding what I have here, man. If you are one of the 90 plus over on TikTok, guys, please drop a follow so that I can pin your comment. Makes my chat so much more readable across all the apps here. If you're not already watching or following along over on the Twitch or on the Tube, that's made for you. If you're picking up what I'm putting down, your chat experiences are going to be a bit better over there, so go ahead and find me over there. If TikTok's the only place you are, though, happy to see you guys here as well. Do my best to get to your questions. If you're not already a member of the free Discord, it is the best place to get my attention all week, not just on my streams. So if you are on TikTok, just click on the profile that you're looking at here, and in my pinned section of my description, there'll be a website, my website, dynastypricecheck.com. Just go ahead and click on that. Click the Join Free Discord button on the homepage. I know there's a lot of steps on that one. If it's too hard for you, just send me a direct message right now that says Discord, and I'll follow up with an invite link for you right after the stream so that I can still get to your questions. We are helping folks win championships left and right in there. I got the Bears or the Ravens. I will take the Bears this week. I have Sutton and Kamara on my bench. Who should I try to get for them? Yeah, if they're both just sitting on your bench, I suggest packaging them together and try to just tier up at that wide receiver position. Like Sutton and Kamara, package them together. Go see if you could get Drake London. You know, buy him on the low here. I like it. Jack Brennan. What's up, Jack Brennan? Good to see you over on the tube that's made for you. He says, do I trade Sutton and for Nico? That's a yes. I have CD Waddle and Rome. Yeah. I'll take the Nico Collins side here comfortably. Thank you for chiming in and tuning in. If you're not already subscribed over on the tube, would love to see that. Would love to see that. An eye filter on? I don't think I have anything on, Rach. You think so? No, I don't have any filters on, so sorry. I'm broadcasting through a different studio. Are you sure? I'm broadcasting through a different studio. How would it be doing that? I'm not even broadcasting on here. I'm using Meld. Okay. Okay. All right. I don't know what's happening. I don't know how to turn that off, though. So, unfortunately, it's going to stick. Sorry, guys. All right. I've got, let's see. Yeah, dude, I have no idea how to do anything like that, Rach, so I don't know. I don't know what to tell you there. All right, we got a first-time chatter over on the T-Witch. Thanks for coming through. He says, Dylan. Dylan saying, I've got Devonta, Pickens, Garrett Wilson, and T. Should I look to upgrade one of them with a pick? Or, what's the other or? Should I look to upgrade one of them with a pick? I have a really good chance to win it all. Yeah, I would. I'd probably be taking Devonta Smith at this point and, adding most of my future seconds here or whatever you need to do, maybe even a first, and see if I could work my way up to, getting a Drake London on the buy low. Probably not, but even to the level of can you buy some older production in Davante Adams? I think Davante Adams is going to continue to eat for you this season. He's putting up incredible metrics as far as red zone goes. He is the #1 targeted player in football in the end zone, and the touchdown upside is super, super exciting. So if I could buy Davante Adams, I would. If you could take Devonta Smith and add a first and go buy Rashee Rice, I'm totally happy doing that. And then other guys that I think will give you decent production are Michael Pittman. But again, when you're saying, to true upgrade, I would try the true upgrade for sure. I mean, Devonta Smith in a first, probably never going to get you near Justin Jefferson, but I'd be trying. For sure. All right. Appreciate you, Dylan. I am glad you found me over on the T-Witch. Happy to help however I can. If you guys are over on TikTok here, as a quick reminder, please drop a follow so that I can pin your comment and make my chat a lot more readable, just like Bryce here. I have Keenan Allen and Devontae Adams. Should I sell one? If so, who to target? I would be selling Keenan Allen if I was going to sell either of the two of them. And again, I would need to know what your roster needs are. I would assume that your roster needs are probably more running back driven if you're looking at making a move like this. So if it is, I would take Keenan Allen and try to go, package him with one other depth piece on my bench, like Keenan Allen and J.K. Dobbins, and go see if I could get Kyron Williams or James Cook or somebody in that range. If you can't do that, maybe Keenan Allen and a Jalen Warren packaged together to try to go buy Rashee Rice and tier up. I'm all good with that. What's up, Jake? Jake says, get Henry and Nico. Give Jamar and Mason. That's going to be a no. I'm just going to hold Jamar Chase here. I know you're getting a lot of underperforming from this group of running backs, but if it's me, I'm just if it's me, I'm just trying to go to every team in the league that needs running backs and offer them JCM, Jordan Mason. I'll hold Ken Walker. I think he'll have more production on the back end than he has on the front end of the season here. I've got Jaden in here. What's up, Jaden? Jaden says, trade Devonta and Pearsall for Kittle and Tet. In Dynasty, absolutely. But in redraft, I'll still take the Tet side. But, man, it's close. Devonta Adams is just going to absolutely eat the rest of the season. I'm pretty confident in it. Kevin, what's up, Kevin? Says Keenan Allen and Pacheco for James Cook. That's a yes. I would take the James Cook side. I've got It's Me, Angel, saying sell Bijan for Mims, Javonte Williams. I'm 2-5. I need help. Mims. Marvin Mims isn't going to do jack shit for you here. Absolutely not. Okay, look. If you're going to sell if you're going to sell Bijan Robinson here, do it. Yeah, you're 2-5. You need to make something happen. You absolutely need to focus, right? So let's get Bijan off the roster. However, if you're gonna get him off the roster, I need an absolute haul to try to turn the team around, and you should have no problem getting it. I mean, I would go to somebody in your league who has, let's just give you some examples here. Who has Rashee Rice? Okay, let's go get Rashee Rice, Cam Scadaboo, and Tucker Kraft for Bijan and throw in your tight end, Hunter Henry. Throw in your tight end, Evan Ingram, okay? Whoever you're sitting on, that is what you should be doing, okay? You should not be selling Bijan for nothing. He is an absolute monster, and you should absolutely be getting fair value for him. And if someone's not willing to give him to you, then you move on to the next suitor. That's it, okay? That is it. That's what I'm doing. Okay, good night, Rach. Love you. I hope that you sleep well, and I will talk to you when you wake up. Thanks for your help today. Okay. I've got Austin in here saying Kamara for Dobbins. That's going to be a no. It's going to be a no. I would just rather have the Alvin Kamara side for the playoff push. I have been talking very extensively about how solid Alvin Kamara's schedule is for the playoffs. So. Let's see. Biz Biscuit saying Dart, third quarterback for Scadaboo. Yeah, give me Scadaboo. I mean, honestly, if you're dealing with multiple quarterbacks and you're not able to start them, then why are you holding anybody on your roster that's not actually scoring you points? Cam Scadaboo will score you points. That's what you're doing, okay? All right, guys, if you're not already following, please drop a follow so that I can pin your comments here and make my chat a hell of a lot more readable. If you haven't already found me over on Twitch or on the tube made for you, your chat experience is going to be a bit better over there, and your display as well. So go ahead and check me out on those apps. Would love to see it over there. But if you're only here on the talk, that's okay. Just like I said, please do me a favor and drop a follow so that I can pin your comments. Then my chat bar is far easier to read, juggling all the different apps. Mac is saying, would you trade Rashee and Keenan Allen for Gibbs? Yeah, I'd probably take the Gibbs side here. I would take the Gibbs side here. All right, cool. All right, what else do I got here? Okay. All right. All right. Brilliant. Let's see what else I've got going here. Got cooking. Got cooking. I did see a few comments here that I'll try to whip through really quickly. I've got Angel saying, do I trade Swift and Addison for Achane? That's a smash accept. Yes, give me the Achane side. Do I hold or sell high on CMC? Why would we be selling the number one player in all of fantasy football? KZ is saying, which running back can I get? I'm willing to trade Saquon and Breece Hall. Well, if you're willing to trade both of them, I don't know why you're running back shopping. You already have running backs. I would probably just hold. If anything, I'm moving Breece Hall here. I'm not trying to sell Saquon when his value's been cut in half. So I will sell Breece Hall, but if you're selling Breece Hall, you probably need to tier down a little bit in somebody's name value mind, but a guy that's probably going to give you good production. Unfortunately, just had a massive week, so, spike value here, but Jaylen Warren's one of those guys that I think will probably provide you, very similar level of production at a fraction of the cost. Okay. I've got Nick's in here saying, who can I get for Etienne and Brian Thomas Jr.? I need a wide receiver. You have a wide receiver. You have Brian Thomas Jr. Why are we trying to get too tricky here? I mean, if you're trying to make a really savvy move and you want to tier up at wide receiver here, you could probably pair the two of these guys together and go for Drake London, who might give you a bit more consistency. You might be able to try to go get a A.J. Brown if that's something that tickles your fancy more. I mean, if you want to do this deal and try to move laterally and get Devontae Adams, who will probably be a bit more consistent than Brian Thomas Jr., but then I need a running back kicked back to me, so maybe a J.K. Dobbins, a little like tier swap, J.K. Dobbins and Devontae Adams for Etienne and BTJ. I think I'm fine with that one. Okay, I've got some Dynasty questions in here. Love me some Dynasty. What's up, Ether Wong? Long-time follower. Makes it easy for me to pin his comment. If you guys are not already following, I can't pin your comments, and my chat becomes a mess with hundreds of you in here. So please go ahead, drop that follow, and I'll try to get to you. What to buy Dobbins for in Dynasty? Well, for me, in Dynasty, I'm totally fine paying a late second-round pick and a late third-round pick for J.K. Dobbins if you're a contending roster and need running back help. I think that's totally fine. If you're, like I said, if you're contending and those are going to be late round picks, I'm all good with it. Musket says, should I keep George Kittle for National Tight Ends Day? Yeah, you should keep him for that day. They're definitely going to feed him. They always do every year. Holy Stan, that's my name. My name is Stan. What's up, guys? Jaylen Warren versus Javonte Williams. I'd rather have Javonte Williams, honestly. I think Jaylen Warren just put up a really good week for you. I think Jaylen Warren's a solid RB2 rest of the season. I think Javonte Williams has more upside in that Dallas Cowboys offense. You've got Sam in here saying, would you trade Achane for Jefferson? In a vacuum, yeah. In Dynasty, I would, but in redraft, probably not. Okay. Vince. What's up, Vince? I have a lot of great wide receiver. Which running back can I get? Hard for me to make too much of a distinguisher here and just guess what your great wide receivers are, but I think if you have great wide receivers, you should be able to get anybody. If you want my trade targets, like I was saying, value trade targets are going to be Jaylen Warren, and Travis Etienne coming off a couple down weeks, Javonte Williams, even Kim Scadaboo, who probably is outside of the price range now, but I like as a buy. Those are some decent ones for you. And and that's where we're at. That is where we are at. I'll go ahead and pin Matt's comment here. Thank you, Matt, for coming through. Good to see some Dynasty heads in here. Matt, if you're not already in the Discord, my friend, please go ahead and hop in the Dynasty Trade Center. Would love to talk trades with you all day, every day. It is pinned on my website, on my profile, or just send me a direct message that says Discord, and I will get you in. He says, I'm in there, brother. Good stuff, Matt. Good stuff. He says, I have Ward and was offered a 27 first and third and a 28 second. Yeah, I'd probably take that, to be completely frank with you. So you're getting a first, second, and third for Cam Ward. I mean, again, if you need Ward right now, you could do it. I think I think I'm fine re-rolling, though, to be completely frank with you, buddy. Like, I always got to ask myself, right? Like, what gets me more buying power on the open market in a Dynasty League? Right now, I think if I was trying to send offers that had Cam Ward in it, it would equate to about the value of like a late first. But if I was to send that package, like a first, second, and third all together, basically an entire draft class, I think I could probably get a really, really solid player. So that's kind of the way I look at it. Owen, what's up, Owen? Owen says trade Achane for James Cook and Javonte. Wait, I lost it. Owen. Where'd you go? Trade Achane for James Cook and Javonte, and also trade Pickens for Brian Thomas Jr. for JSN. Yes, I'll do both these deals. I'll do both of them. Jackson, thanks for the follow, my friend. I've also got Max in here saying Waddle or Addison rest of the season. I'm trading Hampton and Vidal for Benson in one of them. I don't like that. Just hold Hampton, bro. You're almost through the storm here. I'd just hold it. James, what's up, James? I got Scadaboo for a first and Pat Bryant. That's an incredible deal. I absolutely love that for you, man. Hell yeah. Massive W's. Wet like water. That's a funny one. Trade Ladd and Swift for Etienne, Debo, and Hampton. I have Vidal. Ladd and Swift for Etienne, Debo, and Hampton. Yeah, I'm good with this deal. Give me the Hampton side. All right, I've just got blanket statement fantasy football in the chat. That's great. I like fantasy football. Should I do this trade? Judkins, Brees, for them, Ibuka, Swift, Etienne. Yeah, I'll take the Judkins side here. Josiah. What's up, Josiah? Josiah says flex Wandale, Ferguson, Higgins, or Johnston. Here I'd probably lean with the Wandale Robinson side. I like what I'm seeing out of the Giants offense, and I think that they're giving you some pretty solid production here. Guys, if you are not already following, I can't pin your chat. So please do me a favor and drop a quick follow. It makes my chat a lot more readable across the apps if you are on TikTok. If you're over on the Twitch or the Tube that is made for you, a quick subscription or a live follow would be lovely as well. Great seeing you guys come through on some of these other platforms. The chat experience is a lot better for me over there. So if you have access to those apps, go ahead and find me over there, all right? Is Sam Darnold legit? Johnny's saying. Trade Addison and J.K. Dobbins for Darnold and Debo. Yeah, I do think Darnold is legit. If this is a dynasty question, you play in a Superflex league, I think this is an incredible deal for you. I personally think that buying Sam Darnold in a Superflex is one of the best things you can do right now, just as far as value goes. Like, he's playing like a top 15 quarterback, at least for fantasy, and outside of fantasy, he's graded even higher than that. So I would absolutely be buying him in Superflex leagues, especially in Dynasty. But, you know, that's just my opinion. I do think that some of those guys, Daniel Jones, Sam Darnold, guys that are primed to get a long-term deal, you know, somewhere after this season, like Daniel Jones, but Sam Darnold's already on a 3-year. I think the Seahawks are going to ride that deal out. You know how good of a value that is for Sam Darnold? The way he's playing at $33 million a year or whatever is crazy. FF Bandy, thank you so much for coming through on the T-Witch and dropping a follow. If you got any questions you'd like to place in the chat, happy to get to you and help you out. Thanks so much for the support, guys. I've got Matt saying Judkins and Puka for Bijan and Garrett Wilson. Yeah, I'm going to be taking the Puka side here, honestly. I do think that Bijan obviously is always solid, but you know, this would be a Judkins, you know, and Puka side for me here. I've got Joe. Joe, what's up, man? Because I can barely type on TikTok. Not sure what the rest of the question was there, Joe. But, Joe, if you're having trouble on the Tickety Talk, come and find me over on the purple app or the red app. Your chat experience is going to be far better. I've got Reed over here saying, do I buy Saquon or Drake London for cheap? Yes, I would be buying Saquon for cheap absolutely right now. If anyone's willing to part with him and they're done with the experiment for the year, I am not. Would you do JT, Javonte Adams, and Laporta for Amon-Ra, Javonte, and Kittle? No, I wouldn't. I think if you have JT at this point, he's probably running back one, and I'm going to ride him. I think Davante Adams has also given you fantastic production. Not enough of a difference maker in this trade for me, in my opinion. I sent my team over to your email. Do you think you can take a look at it? Austin, unfortunately, my man, I did 780 plus free roster reviews over the last few months through my email. Those days are unfortunately behind us. Do not have the capacity to be doing that anymore. So if you are looking for a Dynasty roster breakdown, you can go over to my website, dynastypricecheck.com, and go ahead and donate to the San Diego Food Bank on your behalf, and go ahead and get a Dynasty detox. That'll be your Dynasty roster review. Promise it's the best in the business. If not, feel free to hop over to my Patreon and join up over there, and you'll get access to a free roster review every single month through the Discord. So that's probably your best value out there if you guys want to catch me on the Patreon or on the Discord. Discord is free also for the folks that want to hop in and use the general chat and get some of my insights. It is on my website again, or it is pinned on my profile, and I'd be happy to see you guys in there and help you out more. I've got Ignacio asking over on the tube that is made for you, would you rather have Drake London or Justin Jefferson? In Dynasty, I'd still rather have Justin Jefferson, and in Redraft, I'd still also rather have Justin Jefferson. Now, the issue with Justin Jefferson for me is not his play at all. It's his quarterbacks. I'm not a J.J. McCarthy guy, and I am quite worried about his development here. So the fact that they keep rolling with Carson Wentz when I think it's pretty clear that J.J. McCarthy is healthy at this point shows you that they just don't think he's ready. And I think from that point of view, that's what makes me more nervous about Justin Jefferson than, anything about, his play necessarily. Dennis the Menace. What's up, Dennis the Menace? Guys, if you are dropping comments over on the TikTok side of things and you're not on Twitch or on the tube that's made for you, please drop a follow so that I can pin your comments. It makes it so much more readable for me on this side of the house if I can do that. I've got trading away Quinshawn, Pitts, and Myers for Tay and Olave. Yeah, I'll take the Tay and Olave side there. Your favorite Hooper. What's up, favorite Hooper? He says, is this veto worthy? Saquon for Rico. Yeah. Yeah, that is veto worthy. I think you got to be holding Saquon Barkley there. I'm not even a veto guy, but that is pretty bad. That is pretty bad. I've got Ruthless saying Theo Johnson or Kyle Pitts. I'll take Kyle Pitts there. Who can you get for Brian Thomas Jr.? I'd like to try to go get, a Kyron Williams or even a Ken Walker buying on the low, something like that. I got Austin Jonesy. What's up, Austin Jones? Coming through on the tube made for you. He says, would you rather have the Seahawks win the Super Bowl and all your fantasy teams go 0-17, or would you rather win all your leagues and the Hawks go 0-17 2 years straight? This is an easy one. I'll take the Seahawks Super Bowl. Give me a Super Bowl every day of the week. I'll go 0-17 in fantasy, even though it would never happen. Guys, there's a lot of leagues. Thanks, Jonesy, for hopping in and laying me up here. There's a lot of leagues I tried to punt in this year in Dynasty and just intentionally tried to lose. And I'm 7-0 and 6-1 in the two leagues that I thought I was punting. You're seeing on my screen right here. I guess it's hard for me to show the whole thing. You can probably see the... Wait, how do I show you? Can I show you? Damn. I can't. It's hard to see on this display. Maybe you can see on this display, actually. Yeah, well, here I am. I have how many? Let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 4 26 firsts and 2 seconds and a couple extra other picks. And I intentionally punted this year, and I am currently 7-0, as you can see here. And then in this league, I also was intentionally punting. And I have, let's check. Oh, yeah, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 26 firsts in this league, and was very confident that I was punting this season away. And as you can see here, my record is 6-1. So no matter what, I can't lose. I'm too good to lose. Sorry. It's true though. It's true. Thank God I have the time and effort to put into fantasy football for you guys. All right. Sorry. Now that we're done glazing all my rosters, let's just kidding. I've got literally like 20 teams we could do this with. I traded Michael Pittman for Kyren Williams. Thoughts? Yeah, this is a great trade. Personally, I think it's a great trade. I'd prefer the Kyren side. I love Michael Pittman, and I've been very vocal about all offseason, literally how I thought Michael Pittman was one of the best values in the draft. I came out with him in almost 1 million drafts here, whether it was dynasty startups or redraft, just because of the situation and everything that was happening with him last year with the broken back and coming off 3 top 20 seasons in a row, and how quickly his value had dropped in people's mind. But Kyren Williams, he's on a high-powered Rams offense. Plus, I always like to look and just keep in mind what we got coming up ahead of us here. And he does have a really good schedule. Now, this is one of those guys at the trade deadline that I'm actually okay moving off of, which just sounds wild, but very, very favorable schedule here. And this is just something that I think is worth going through, right? But you got, San Francisco and Seattle coming up. Those are 2 decently hard matchups. But outside of that, you got New Orleans, you got Tampa Bay, who has been allowing rushing yards. You've got Carolina and Arizona, 2 really favorable matchups right before you go into the playoffs. If you wanted to trade Kyren Williams away right as you go into the playoffs, I wouldn't blame you. Detroit, Seattle, and Atlanta, those are 3 pretty tough fronts in a row. I've got Augustine over on the T-Witch. Thanks for coming and finding me. Appreciate you. And he says, trade away Judkins and Ladd for JJ. Honestly, man, if you have the running back depth to sustain this, I'll do it. Because getting Justin Jefferson is always, a potentially league-winning move. At the same time, though, if you're running back needy at all, moving off Quinshon Judkins is just not something I'm really suggesting you do right now. He's performing like a solid RB1, and I think that probably continues for the rest of the season here. I've got Dadushka on the TikTok saying, keep Montgomery. Yes, I am fine keeping Montgomery in a vacuum. I don't know exactly what the question is there. If you are one of the 100+ over on the TikTok, please do me a favor and drop a follow so that I can pin your comment like this and make my chat a lot more readable. I'm trying to juggle them across multiple different applications here, and it is very difficult to get to everybody's questions if I cannot just pin them and make sure I have them easy to read. There is hundreds of folks dropping questions, so thank you guys for the support, and a quick follow makes my life a lot easier. I got Jonathan over here saying trade Judkins and Debo for Jay Jettis. I have Bijan and Brees. Yeah, this one I will do, like I was saying. I'll take the Jay Jettis side here. You have enough. You have enough, Let's see. Puka and Kamara for Kyren and CeeDee. This one I'm probably just going to lean and keep the Puka side, but I'm not going to lie and tell you that either side is going to be very productive for you, and I think that you'll be okay. The only reason I'm giving you the Puka side here is kind of like I was alluding to earlier, guys. I think a very important thing to remember with Alvin Kamara is what you're getting out of him on a playoff schedule. Now, I know I got Chris Olave up here, but that's just so that you can see the schedule. For Alvin Kamara, guys, when you go into the fantasy playoffs, you got Carolina, New York Jets, and the Tennessee Titans in the championship game. If you couldn't be asking for an easier playoff schedule and a more favorable opportunity to win the league if you are riding with Alvin Kamara. I'm just gonna hold up the mirror to you guys. It's an incredible schedule. I've got McClaim in here saying Tet and Ladd for James Cook. That's too much. I think Tet and Ladd is too much. Adam says, who could I get for Tony Pollard or Breece Hall? I have James Cook. Probably not a ton. I mean, if it's me, let's see if you could trade, Tony Pollard away and see if you could get, a Stephon Diggs plus a Zach Charbonnet. I think that's probably your best split move there, if that's even a possibility. If you're going to go on the James Cook side, it's that. Mikey says, love getting off work and hopping on here immediately. Hell yeah, Mikey. Love to have you. Guys, Mikey's one of my incredibly awesome moderators in the Discord and a close personal friend. So if you guys are not already a member of the Discord and you want access to both me and Mikey to help you out with your fantasy football season, a bunch of guys that love ball, know ball, and breathe ball, go ahead and hop over to my website right now that is pinned on my profile, dynastypricecheck.com, just my username.com, and click the join free Discord button. I got Snored over on the tube that's made for you saying, should I trade Devonta for Waddle? This is a pretty lateral move, but I will take Waddle. Yes, I will take Waddle here. I've got Zach saying, last resort, Monangai, Justice Hill, or Gainwell. I will go with Monangai. I've got Jay Jettis for CD. Here's one of these interesting trades, guys, where it's just so lateral to me. Like, I don't exactly care which one you take. I mean, all things considered, I will lean the CeeDee Lamb side here. I just trust Dallas's offense way more. And when it comes down to it, when you're talking about two elite assets like this, I think you just consider the situation and you consider the quarterback. And for me, the Dallas offense is 8th overall, I believe. And on top of that, you got Dak Prescott putting up, at least fantasy-wise, top 2 quarterback numbers in fantasy. So I would be taking the CD side, but just in a vacuum, I normally think that these trades are pretty lateral. Guys, if you are one of the 100 plus over on TikTok and you're not on Twitch or the tube that is made for you, please go ahead and drop a follow so that I can pin your comments and make your questions a lot more readable in my chat. The other apps are a bit easier for me to manage my chat experience. This one is quite difficult. So if you're not already following, it is way easier for me if you can help me out. Juan says, do I trade Rice, and which one would you trade for Warren? Wait, Rice, Abuka, London. Which one would you trade for Warren? I have Ladd, Addison, Brees, and Bijan. I would trade Brees Hall for Jalen Warren plus. I don't really understand this question. Yeah, I don't really get this question. Which one would you trade for Lauren out of Rashee Rice, Abuka, and London? None of those guys. You have Ladd, Addison, Brees, and Bijan. You have all these guys? You're loaded. Why are we trying to trade for Jalen Warren? Like, if you have all these receivers, go take Jordan Addison and Brees Hall and pair them together and go buy Kyron Williams or James Cook. Right? What am I missing in this question here, guys? How do I think Saquon will end up? Still a top 10 back. I think they'll sort their shit out and they'll be fine. I'm really not worried about Barkley. He means Tyler Warren, I think. I mean, I love Tyler Warren, but... is it a dynasty question? Okay, if it's a dynasty question and you're trying to get Tyler Warren from one of those wide receivers, so let's start with Jordan Addison and work our way up. Adriano says, who should I sub in the flex? Brees Hall, Zay Flowers, Michael Pittman. I would go honestly with Michael Pittman. I'd go with Michael Pittman. Miles per hour 300. What's up, man? Welcome into the YouTube chat, or sorry, the tube that's made for you. Appreciate you, man. Need a running back for the bye week of hell. Spears or trade Neal. Saints backup. Nah, I'll roll with Tajay Spears. Honestly, man, God, you've got terrible options here. I think they ruled out Haskins even for Thursday Night Football. Kamani Vidal might be an easy trade target for you. I would just go try to buy him. You know, can you flip one of your depth pieces on your bench that you don't really need just for 1 week here? That would be my best suggestion for you. If not, you probably got to roll with Spears, but I really just don't like it. Got a bunch of rest of the season questions. You think Saquon will end up rest of the season? Yeah, I think he'll be top 10. I'm not too worried about it. Vidal is starting my opponent. It is horrible out here. Damn, that is brutal, man. I mean, your other options then, are going to be like the Rico Dowdles of the world, the Rashad Whites of the world, guys that are probably going to see a touch split and get some action this week. It's dirty, but I like it more than Tajay Spears. I mean, honestly, man, my number one suggestion for you, and I beat this drum all the time. Unfortunately, he played well this week, so you're going to have a hard time trading for him, but it's Zach Charbonnet. Every time he starts, well, I guess he's on bye this week too. Just kidding. Sorry, can't help you out there. Just kidding. Caught me in it. Caught me in it. Jake, what's up, man? Thank you for dropping in and dropping the follows and a couple of roses here, man. He says, Scadaboo, Chase Brown plus Tedero McMillan for Puka plus Brees in redraft. I'll take the Puka side here, but not by a ton. I will take the Puka side, though. Yeah, Miles is struggling. I'm sorry, Miles. I tried my best for you, man. I'd like to look at any other options for you. I mean, the Ramondre Stevensons of the world. Maybe we can go make a quick trade for him. Maybe you can make a small trade for Brashad Smith and take a risk. I think Kyle Monangai could provide you with some touchdown upside out of the blue. That might be a target for you. You could always try to go fight for a Bam Knight out there. Maybe you get lucky and someone will give you him. I mean, these are your cheapest options. I got Annabelle over on the T-Witch. Thanks for coming through. Thoughts on Addison? Is he worth getting? Yeah, guys, I love Jordan Addison. Like, anyone who knows me and has been following me for a while knows that, especially in Dynasty, my two guys I tell you to go buy if you're any sort of stuck in the middle, retooler, rebuilder, whatever, is Jordan Addison and Xavier Worthy. I just think both of them great prospect profiles. Both have shown you production right out of the gate here. I don't like to personally wait on later breakouts. I like guys that just show me that they're league ready right out of the gate. When you talk about league ready, I think Jordan Addison is one of the most slept on young wide receivers in the Dynasty community, largely because he plays behind Justin Jefferson and has had some sort of revolving door at quarterback, whether it's Sam Darnold or Kirk Cousins and now J.J. McCarthy and Carson Wentz and, just all the things that come his way. But in the first 2 seasons of his career, playing behind what you could say is the number one wide receiver in football, you had a top 25 finish with wide receiver 23, another top 25 finish with wide receiver 21. So almost breaking the top 20 right here. Jordan Addison is one of those guys that I love buying in Dynasty and having on my team for the long haul. I think it's a fantastic purchase. Hang20. What's up, Hang20? Thanks for finding me on the T-Witch. He says, hi, would you trade Josh Jacobs and Brian Thomas Jr. for Jefferson and Kyron half-point PPR? If it's a half-point PPR, I am going to be taking the Justin Jefferson and Kyron Williams side. Yes, I would do that deal. Riley, over on the tube, made for you. What's up, bro? Should I trade Kyron and A.J. Brown for George Pickens and Josh Jacobs? This is so similar to the other trade, ironically, that I just read from Hang20 over on T-Witch. Kyron and A.J. Brown for Pickens and Jacobs. I'll take the Kyron and A.J. Brown side here. Annabelle follows that up and says, should I trade away Rashad White and Godwin for Addison? Yes, you should. In a heartbeat, take Addison, run to the bank. I love that. I love that. I love that. If you are one of the 100+ over on TikTok, please do me a favor, guys, and drop a follow so that I can pin your comment. I am doing the best to juggle all my chats across a ton of different apps. If you are looking for a better chat experience, I do suggest you find me over on the T-Witch or on the tube that's made for you. A little bit better of an experience over there, but if you're only here on TikTok, I still appreciate you. I appreciate it and all the support you guys give me and helping me on this platform. But again, got to make sure you're following so that I can pin these comments. Trade Justin Jefferson and Drake May for Jonathan Taylor. I have Lamar, Dart. My wide receivers are stacked. Yeah, honestly, if you can afford to do this move, lucky you. Give me Jonathan Taylor. He's probably going to finish running back 1. So I'll go ahead and pin Mikey's comment here and get back to it in just a moment. Because over on the T-Witch, I got Hank the Tank. What's up, Hank the Tank? Thank you for following. Thanks for finding me. I'm playing the 1 seed. Do I take the loss and make a trade for Puka or St. Brown or try to beat the 1 seed? I would be giving up Scat, Keenan Allen, and Golden. No, you're taking Puka or St. Brown easy here. Please, please, please. Do not worry about Scat, Keenan Allen, and Golden here. I would be taking the absolute stud. If you have to eat 1 week of a loss It's not the biggest deal in the world. The wins and losses will matter way more in the playoffs, and I feel way more confident in Puka and St. Brown potentially winning you those playoff games than I do about the others. Iso Paulo over on the T-Witch says, getting offered Etienne and DJ Moore for Pickens. My wide receivers are Ladd, Rice, and Golden. Getting offered Etienne and DJ Moore for Pickens. No, I'm going to hold. I want the Pickens side. Basically, whatever you're saying here, I want the Pickens side. Of course, Jahames, thank you so much for coming through. Appreciate you, Jahames. Nice to see you over on the T-Witch. He says, should I trade Bucky for Amika? No, I'm going to hold Bucky there. Jake on Tube Made For You, the Red Button app, in case you guys have not already checked me out over there, does say, should I trade Warren and Johnston for Jamar? My other running backs are CMC and Henry. Warren and Johnston for Jamar. Yes, give me Jamar Chase. I got Hank the Tank saying thanks. Appreciate you, bro. Thanks for coming through. Love to see you in here. If you're not already a follower on the T-Witch, would love to see you more often. Oh, I just see you drop the follow. Thank you, man. Appreciate you. Ryan Shrek, Jalen Warren, and Olave for Swift and Adunze. Give me the Adunze side here. Bilbo, what's up, Bilbo? Nice first-time chatter in here. Appreciate you coming through. Javonte, season-long outlook going forward. Yeah, I mean, Dallas, 32nd ranked defense, 8th overall in DVOA on offense. I think you want a piece of every single Dallas player you can get. Yeah, I think Javonte Williams will finish a top 12 running back. NFXTY, would you trade Saquon and Tyler Warren for JT? No. I think I'm just going to hold the package, honestly. I think that shows you how high I am on Tyler Warren. I got Mikey over here saying ideas on who I can trade Judy plus a second for. It's brutal, man. It's brutal because, I hate Jerry Jeudy. Not a Jerry Jeudy guy, especially in Dynasty. I think the second gets you somewhere. I think Jerry Jeudy in a second probably at this point could get you Michael Pittman. That would be probably a guy that I'd be looking to go buy with a package like that. Unfortunately, if it's in the league I think I own Michael Pittman and I'm not doing that deal. You could probably try to go get, flip Jerry Jeudy for Stephon Diggs straight up and see if someone will take a risk on the age and you get more production. I think outside of that, like Jerry Jeudy in a second, maybe you could try to go get Devonta Smith. I doubt you get that deal done. Maybe you add a third to try to get up there. I'd do that. E Dizzle, what's up, man? Thanks for coming through on the T-Witch. Appreciate you finding me over here. I'm 2-5. I have Rasheed, Adunze, Jamar, Abuka, Garrett Wilson. Running backs are Brees and K9. Who do I trade for a running back? Yeah, I mean, if this is your lineup here and you got Rasheed, Adunze, Jamar, and Garrett Wilson, it's Abuka pretty clearly for me. I mean, I know Mike Evans just went down here, so he's got a great runway ahead of him, but it's either Abuka or Adunze, so either one, depending on who you think you can get better value for. But, I'd be going out and I'd shooting for the stars with Amika. I think a lot of people will give you an arm and a leg for Amika, and I think if you can flip him for, a Devon Achane, Kyron Williams plus Ken Walker, James Cook plus a Jalen Warren, and just stack your running back room a bit. I know you said you already had K9, ironically, but that's probably the deals that I would do, something in that range. MJ Walsh owns Diggs. That's funny. I mean, he might be able to get it. He'd probably give it to you for Jeudy in a second. I think he knows he could flip Jeudy in a second for more than what he could get out of Diggs right now, but I don't know if, again, that's the perfect move for you, Mikey. Let's talk more about that one, in our hangout or something tonight. I've got Ozzy saying, what tight end should I pick up for McBride's bye week? I'd be picking up Dalton Schultz or potentially A.J. Barner if he's out there. He's been a sleeper. Good one to have. Douglas Squad says, trade Judkins and Hunter for Javonte Williams. Douglas and Hunter. Yeah, I'll take Javonte Williams. Easy there. Guys, if you are not already following on TikTok, I cannot pin your comments, and it is making my chat very hard to read. So if you are not already a follower, please go ahead and drop a follow and make it way easier for me to be able to pin your comments up here and try to get to some of the questions. I do have Pittman and Chuba for Barkley from Parsha. I'm saying I'll take the Barkley side here. Is Devonta Smith a sell high candidate? I do believe he is. Obviously comes off and has a massive week this week, putting up 35 points. He's actually put together a pretty decent grouping of weeks here with 20 here, 19 here, and now 35. It seems to be on and off. If that shows you anything, maybe he's going off next week. Like, not going off as in good, like he's not going to have a good week. So, again, if you can go ahead and get out there and trade for him, or trade him away, I'm thrilled to do so. If you can flip him directly for Michael Pittman, I'd do it for sure. Ryan saying, what running backs do you think people should go after for either buy low or buy high? Yeah, I mean, buy low is going to be Barkley, by a mile. I think another buy low is Ken Walker. I think a buy high would be Cam Skattebo, Quinshon Judkins, Javonte Williams. Like, all those guys are guys I'm worth paying. Same with Devon Achane. I think Devon Achane, no joke, is the most consistent player in all of fantasy outside of Christian McCaffrey. I mean, he's on one of the worst offenses you can imagine, and the man just does not fail to give you 15 points, So that's kind of the way I look at it. Also, guys, no sound? What do you mean no sound, Derek? I think that's on your end, man. I think people can hear me. If you guys can't hear me, let me know. But I think I'm good. Bilbo is saying, does Flacco edition make you like Higgins more? I'm between Higgins, Devonta, and Ladd for my wide receiver spot. Yeah, Flacco definitely makes me like Higgins a lot more than I liked him before, but I'm still just not the biggest T. Higgins guy. That was quite the game we got on Thursday night, and I don't expect that level of production every week. I think if it's anything for me here, I'm probably taking the Ladd McConkey side. I just trust that Chargers offense a hell of a lot more than anybody else. Rachel Jones says trade Ken Walker and Judy for Chris Olave. I will take the Chris Olave side here, yes. I will take the Chris Olave side. Annabelle says trade away Skattebo and Worthy for Pickens. No. That's going to be a no. I think Scat in itself is worth more than Pickens. I love Scat. I've got Puka out. Should I add Tez Johnson? Yes. Tez Johnson should not be on your waiver wire at this point. The Bucks injuries are stacking up. John Pork 11 says Kincaid and Kamara or Trey Benson for AJ Brown. What full point PPR? What would you give? Kamara or Trey? I would give Trey. I've talked about Kamara a lot. His playoff schedule is fan-freaking-tastic. So if I'm trying to win the league and I'm making it down the stretch, I want Kamara in my starting lineup come the playoffs. Guys, depending on where you're following at here, whether you're on the T-Witch, on the tube that's made for you, or over on TikTok, especially if you're over on TikTok, it is very hard for me to manage my chat with all the folks in there and the lack of chat experience compared to the other apps. So please drop a follow so that I can pin your comment like this and make my life a hell of a lot easier if you're not already. If you haven't checked me out on any of those other platforms, your chat experience will be fantastic. I do suggest you come on over there if you can. You'll even get a nicer display. I've got Ryan Schreck saying, what are my thoughts on Kamara with the Miller injury? Well, like I was just saying, man, I've talked about Kamara a bit, so I'm not going to beat too much of a dead horse here, but I do think Alvin Kamara at this point is not only a great PPR option, but just a fantastic contending option for any roster that is positive right now, like over 500. I mean, I was just highlighting it a moment ago, and I'll do it again for the folks that are new to the chat here, but look at the playoff schedule for Alvin Kamara. I know I'm showing Chris Olave, but same team. Week 1 of the playoffs, you get Carolina. Week 2, you get the New York Jets. And Week 3, for the championship, you get the Tennessee Titans. Probably the dream schedule you could be asking for if you're trying to start a running back in the playoffs. And now with no Kendre Miller there, I think it is absolutely the best place to be. Daily Dynasty, what's up? Happy to see you in here, man, especially on YouTube. Great to see you, man. Thanks for the subscription. I can't wait to crank a Trade Titans with you. If you have the time or chance and you want to check out the Trade Titans episode 1 that we dropped the other day, that is hopefully where you'll be seeing me and Daily Dynasty soon, breaking down a bunch of your Dynasty trades. my man, we will coordinate here and try to find a good time for the both of us. I'm quite flexible, so I think you texted me a little bit ago, and I have been all over the map. So let me get on back to you this afternoon, and let's try to get a time. We'll just record one this weekend, and we'll get her on posted. I think it'll be awesome content for the folks. If you're one of the 100 plus over on TikTok and you also don't already follow Daily Dynasty, go ahead and check him out, man. The 100 of you on TikTok, I guarantee he'll bring you some good news for the football and for the fantasy football community, and helping you guys stay up to date with all the injuries, all the trades, all the performances from guys. He is not only a great creator, but also a good friend. Go check him out, guys. Go check him out. Appreciate it. Of course. Thanks, Daily. Appreciate you hopping in over on the tube. Guys, if you're not over on the tube or on the T-Witch, go ahead and check me out on those places. The chat experience is going to be great. If you're one of the 110 over on TikTok, make sure you're following so that I can pin your comment here and make my chat a bit more readable. I got Shrieker saying K9 and Nico for DeAndre Swift. No, that's a gross overpay. You're holding the package by a mile, and you're just being patient. Cooper saying JSN for Pickens and Judkins. JCM selling me after Hampton got hurt. Wow, JCM's not performing to the level you guys thought he was. I wonder who could have told you and warned you about that and said, don't buy into all the hype that every other creator's out there giving you. Oh, wow. Maybe it was me. Maybe it was me. KKKK. Okay, I've got Dame in here. Okay, sorry, JSN for Pickens and Judkins. Still no. Still no. Still no. Still no. Okay. That's not enough for JSN, man. That's not enough for JSN. If anything, I would be going out and just trying to buy value at running back right now and try to survive the oncoming storm. You know, maybe a Kamani Vidal, maybe a Rico Dowdle, maybe even a DeAndre Swift. Some people are still major DeAndre Swift haters, and you know I've been one too. So I've got Annabelle saying Worthy or Addison on the T-Witch. I will say Addison just slightly. I think I like them both a lot. I would barely take Addison. Moki, what's up? On the tube made for you says, I'm not excited for our matchup versus bench matchup in Alpha. It's true, dude. It's true. That's going to be a brutal one. That's going to be a brutal one. Absolutely. Is Alpha the one I'm undefeated in, or is that Bravo? I think I do have a loss in Alpha, actually. So maybe you'll be my second here. Okay, Graydon. What's up, Graydon? Graydon says, who should I get JCM? Who should I get for JCM and Marv? I'd try to go get James Cook. I'd try to go get James Cook or Josh Jacobs. That would be the range I'm playing in for that. I've got a big one here from Diesel saying Puka and Judkins for JSN and Ibuka. I'm gonna keep the Puka side here. I've got Max in here. What's up, Max? MaxiPad saying Jacobs and Olave for Cook and Breece Hall. I'll take Jacobs and Olave there, man. Magnus Wallace. I like the name. That is great. Breece Hall and Sutton for Barkley. I'm getting Barkley. Breece Hall and Sutton for Barkley. I'll go with Barkley here for sure. By quite a bit. Hey, Christian gets what to do here. Christian dropped a follow. I can pin Christian's comment nice and easy. If you guys are not already following over on the TikTok, please go ahead and follow so that I can pin your comment and make my life so much easier in the chat. Scoob says, who do you trade CD for? And would you trade CD for Bucky and Rome? I would. Yes. Yes, I would. KKKK. Mario, JSP, thank you for the follows. Scoob, you too. What's up, H-Town Rob? What is up, H-Town Rob? Appreciate you kindly. 1 second, guys. Okay. What was I saying? Oh, I was getting back to all these. Are we all got the Seahawks win? we all got the Seahawks winning the Super Bowl. Let's go. Let's go. Comments like this get me hyped. No, I don't think we're gonna win the Super Bowl, but I do think we're gonna make the playoffs. And man, the NFC West is loaded. I think Sam Darnold's playing really well. I think our defense looks absolutely incredible. I mean, that defensive front is scary as hell. So I like all that. Seahawks are playing well. I'm excited about it. Clearly, you got me to perk up and smile. I'm very excited about it. JD5 and 4 Travis Hunter and Devonta. Full point PPR with Dart as the backup. This just isn't enough. Travis Hunter and Devonta Smith don't excite me here. If you're going to move off JD5, like I want Kyron Williams, I want James Cook, I want Devontae Adams, I want someone that's just giving me clear and utter production. I don't want to take the risk on Travis Hunter and Devonta Smith. David, what's up, David? First time chatter over on the T-Witch. Thanks for finding me, man. He says TJ Hawkinson or Dalton Schultz. It's tough. I mean, I personally have been a Dalton Schultz guy pretty comfortably. Here's the way I'll put it. I would prefer Schultz at the value he's being valued at, meaning that if I was you and you're looking at your lineup and you're like, which one do I play or which one do I, go buy? I think TJ Hawkinson's going to cost you more. I think Dalton Schultz will probably give you similar level of production, so I'm taking Schultz. And at the same flip side of that, I'd rather just play Dalton Schultz and then trade TJ Hawkinson like in a package with another player to a tight end needy team and see if I can move up. So a good example is like, we got a guy on our screen right here, like DeAndre Swift, right? Could you take TJ Hawkinson and add him to DeAndre Swift on to a very tight end needy team and try to go tier up to a Ken Walker, tier up to a Kyron Williams, something like that would be a fantastic process move in my mind. Jose, what's up, Jose? He says, I traded GP and Swift and Daniel Jones for Allen Adunze and Etienne. Yeah, I'm good with that. I'm good with that one. You said you have both. Yeah, like I was saying, I'm glad you have both. Like, I would probably play Dalton Schultz, and I'd probably think about moving on from TJ Hawkinson and using him in a tier-up trade. That's what I would do, personally. All right, guys. We've got 100 plus across the chats. Of course. Thanks, David. Thanks for coming through, man. I'm glad you found me on the T-Witch. Hopefully I can help you all season long. If you're not already a member of the Discord, guys, depending on what app you're following me on here, whether it's the T-Witch, whether it's the Tube for you, whether it's TikTok, just hop over to my website. It's pinned on all my profiles, dynastypricecheck.com. And on the homepage, there'll be a big button that says Join Free Discord. You can get way more access to me in there and a lot of awesome fantasy resources and conversation. So hopefully I'll see you guys all over in there. And we do members-only hangouts for watch parties, just like last night. And it was a blast to watch the Seahawks game with all you guys and talk fantasy the whole time. So definitely come and find me over in the Discord. I've got TG3 saying, would you hold or drop Jameson Williams? Here's the thing. I definitely am not a Jameson Williams guy, so I have no problem with you moving off Jameson Williams. But I don't drop anybody, ever. What I do is I use tier-up packages. So, good example. If you want to move off Jameson Williams, I think going to get Wan'Dale Robinson isn't a bad option. You might be able to do that, trade straight up. You might have to add something very small on your side, like a handcuff running back. Like, could you add Tyler Algier to that and try to get Wan'Dale so that you're getting a bit more consistent production? I'm all good with that, right? But let's just be crafty about it. Make a 2-for-1. I don't want to drop anything. There will be somebody in your league, I would guess, that's be willing to take the chance, and that's kind of the way I like to look at it. If you're one of the 100 over on TikTok, please go ahead and drop a follow, guys, so that I can pin your comments and make the chat a hell of a lot more readable. If you haven't already gone over and checked me out on the T-Witch or on the tube that's made for you, that is going to be a great place to catch my chat experience a bit better than this one. But regardless, I appreciate you guys coming through and happy to help the best I can. I've got a question here from Bullboy saying Etienne plus London for Bill, Nico, Etienne for Addison. Wait, why are we doing for Addison? I don't get it. Retype that one, dude. You're confusing me there. I want to make sure I get you some good advice. Jordan Mason or Bucky Irving. It's Bucky Irving by an unbelievable margin. Like, I could build a Walmart in between how much I want Bucky Irving more than Jordan Mason. Josh Jacobs, Travis Kelce, and Pittman for Genty and Tyler Warren. Now, if this is Dynasty, I'm taking the Genty and Warren side, and I am running away to the bank, like running as fast as I possibly can. If it is not, and it is, just standard redraft, then I think I'm still gonna lean the Genty and Warren side. Okay, JCM is so overrated. Argue with a wall. I mean, I am the biggest JCM hater on this platform, I think. So I think you and I are on the same page on that one. Wolfie says, keep Charbonnet on my bench or trade him. Yeah, no, you're keeping him for sure if you need running back depth. I mean, he's giving you really solid production. Even last night, finds the end zone twice. He seems to be the goal line back for Seattle. And even on minimal touches, he's giving you solid performance. However, if he's not in your starting lineup and you're not absolutely relying on him, then Wolfie, I'm trading him away as fast as possible. Go to a running back needy team. Go see if you can get a tier up at wide receiver. When I say tier up, this is what I mean, okay? So let's say you have Stephon Diggs and Zach Charbonnet. Great. Let's go try to get DK Metcalf. So let's go take Zach Charbonnet and Stephon Diggs, package them together, go get DK. You got an upgrade at wide receiver. You tiered up nicely. You took a guy you didn't even need. And, you made a better trade out of it. That's what I always like to say. All right, Ethan Wong says, Tez Johnson, Dynasty price check. Yeah, for price checks here, I think Tez Johnson probably is worth a third at this point, a third or a fourth. I'm not giving him insane value. I'm not willing to pay a second for him, but he will give you production here in the immediate. With Mike Evans going down and Chris Godwin struggling with the injuries. So you got Ibuka, you got Tez. I think Tez will probably give you decent production the rest of the year. I'm fine giving up a third for him at this point. Nothing crazy, though. Nothing too crazy. Guys, if you're like Ethan here and you're not already following so that I can pin your comment and make my chat a hell of a lot more readable, please go ahead and follow along on TikTok. Makes my life way easier. I've got Matthew here posting in the chat, and Matthew is saying, do you think T. Higgins and Zay Flowers for Rashee Rice is a good trade? Yes, I think that's a great trade. Give me Rashee Rice here. Christian, what is good, Christian? I got Christian asking, do I do James Cook, Breece Hall, Diggs, and Hunter Henry for Barkley, Scadaboo, Adams? Yeah, give me Barkley, Scadaboo, and Adams by a mile. Annabelle Hoopin got offered Sutton and K9 for Scat. I'll take Scat for sure. Okay. JCRBL, what's up? Algier or Manungai? Probably lean Manungai, just barely. That just shows you, though, that I'm less of a believer in DeAndre Swift, right? I got Luke saying, what do you think about this? I'm 1-6, and I'll be hurting the three Puka for Smith, Jalen Warren, Wilson. I don't love this. If you're 1-6, let's move on from Puka, but I need more. Let's move on from Puka, and you need to go get Josh Jacobs, Teteroa McMillan, and Tucker Kraft, okay? One guy at every position that's going to give you a solid upgrade, and it'll give you a better chance to just put up consistent points every week and start clawing your way back into these matchups. That's what I would be doing, Luke. Like, if that's where you're at, 1-6, like, you need to win out here. All right, guys. Let's see. Can I drop this down a little bit? There you go. Did that just get nicer, better, easier? I hope so. Okay, let's see. I'm going to move this mic a bit closer to me here. All right. Let's see, guys. How about Gabriel? Gabriel says, do I give up Achane and Jefferson for Christian McCaffrey? No. I think this is too much. I think here's the math on this, right? Is Achane is going to get you probably 80 to 85% of the production that McCaffrey does. Like, at that point, why am I giving up a free Justin Jefferson for an extra 15%? It's just not enough. You know, like, the standard deviation on the points that you're giving up versus the points you're scoring, I don't think is enough. I got Ralph in here calling me boss. I like that. Maybe I should have been like a prison guard or something in a previous life. But Ralph says boss is Wendell, a WR2 for the rest of the season. I'm guessing he's asking about my guy Wan'Dale Robinson. And I will say this. I think he has wide receiver 2 upside the rest of the season. Now, I don't think he's going to be just a plug-and-play wide receiver 2 every week. It'll be a bit more matchup dependent. But I think he's at bare minimum a solid flex play, and I think that's awesome. David is saying, what is this app that you're using, and is it free? It is free. This is just the Sleeper app, and I'm showing the desktop version right now. So if you're not already playing fantasy football on Sleeper, they do not pay me any money for this. I am not a sponsored ad. I'm literally just telling you out of the goodness of my heart that it is by far the best fantasy football app in the business, and I would be using it for everything. Like, I don't play a single league on ESPN or Yahoo. Like, I won't do it. So that would be my suggestion to you guys. Go ahead and get on Sleeper. If you are one of the 100 in the TikTok chat right now, guys, please go ahead and drop a follow so that I can pin your comment, make my chat a hell of a lot more readable. I am also coming to you on the T-Witch and on the tube that's made for you. If you're not already following over there, it'd be great to see you in there, and would love to be able to help you. I got Nico and Zay Flowers for Jordan Mason. I also have Brian Thomas Jr. and Vidal for Wan'Dale Robinson. Nico for Zay Flowers and Jordan Mason. That's not enough for me. I'm holding Nico. Also BTJ and Vidal for Wan'Dale. Bro, what are you doing out here, Aiden? No. You're going to give up Brian Thomas Jr. for Wan'Dale Robinson? No, you're not doing that. You're not doing that. Brian Thomas Jr. will be fine. Let's not panic here. Luke, what's up, Luke? Hey, bud, start 3. Rice, Samuel, Abuka, Pittman, Higgins, Abuka. Well, we're starting Abuka twice, apparently. That's how much Luke likes him. No, I'll go Rice, I'll go Abuka, and I'll go Michael Pittman. Okay? Pretty confidently. I've got Zay or Boutte. I like the rhyming there, but I'm going to go Zay Flowers. Rico Dowdle thoughts I'll get back to in just one moment. But first, would be hopping over here to the tube that's made for you and seeing Douglas. What's up, Douglas? I give up Swift and Cam for Nico Collins and Luke McCaffrey. I do hate moving off Cam Skadaboo, to be completely honest with you. I really like him, and I really think that he's going to give you some super solid production at the running back position. Now, I'm guessing if you're giving up 2 running backs here to get Nico Collins, you probably have plenty of running back depth. If that is the case, then fine. I will take the tier up. I think this is a good price to buy Nico with. But if you are even slightly running back needy and you're potentially moving off Cam Skadaboo here, I don't like it. So I think it's going to be a little bit roster dependent. Yeah, JT and Gibbs, there you go. Now you've got my buy-in. Congrats, Douglas. You've drafted a phenomenal team. Yes, make the deal. I'm good with it. You'll get my blessing. I've got FGT over on TikTok asking about Rico Dowdle, and I did want to talk about Rico Dowdle a little bit today, so why don't we just do it now? Might as well. So here's the thing with Rico Dowdle. I think Rico Dowdle provides you with decent flex-worthy upside with an occasional running back 2 upside. I think you are going to get about an even touch split here. I would say 60-40 to Hubbard, and that's about what you saw this week, where you see him get about 46% of the snaps. Now, keep in mind, he did rush better than Hubbard this week, coming off the injury, putting up a little over 4.5 yards a carry, while Hubbard was a little bit closer to 2.7. Obviously, a bit more productive here. Doesn't find the end zone, so his upside's capped. While I do think that Dowdle is an okay flex option, it's obviously very just, it's very limited run. I think if Chuba comes back and starts to be, when he comes back, I mean, he already is, but I just mean like when he gets his workload ramped up a little bit more, I think there's a good chance you see Chuba start to take over a bit again here, and by the end of the season, Rico Dowdle would have been a fun meme that you see later on Twitter. The streets will never forget Rico Dowdle. Like, that'll probably be a little bit more accurate than to what actually. Um, let's see. Trade one. Crazy. What's up? Trade one. Travis Etienne in London for Krosky Merritt, Nico Collins. Trade two. Tet for Addison. Well, on trade one, I want the London side here. I'll take London and Etienne. So there's that. On trade two, I will take the Teteroa McMillan side over Jordan Addison, even though I like Jordan Addison a lot. Mikey saying Chase Brown, Judy, Chubb, and a second for Olave, Sharps, and Pacheco. Chase Brown, Judy, Chubb, and a second for Olave, Sharps, and Pacheco. Well, Judy and Chubb mean nothing to me in this trade. So it's basically Chase Brown and a second for Olave and Sharps, and I think that's a massive fucking steal. So, yes, give me Olave and Sharps by a country mile here, and I'm happily walking over to the bank with that deal. All right, I'll hop back over to the TikTok chat for a moment. I got Aiden saying, should I sell high on Olave? If so, who for? You can. I like Chris Olave. He's one of the most targeted players in all of football. I believe top 3 going into this week. So I don't know if you really have a huge reason to be moving off that level of volume. If you are going to tear off of Chris Olave, I would hope you're getting an absolute stud. So I hope we're working up our way to a range of like a 3rd-round startup wide receiver, like a Garrett Wilson or Ladd McConkey. If you want to go ahead and do that, I'm fine with it. But again, I just think you're fine keeping Chris Olave. Christina says pick up Monangai or Pacheco. I'm probably just going to go with Monangai. I don't know if I really believe in Isaiah Pacheco for the season here. I've got Mike asking hold one, Gadsden, Ertz, or Mason. I mean, you're probably holding Mason here. Yeah. Crazy says, who should I try to trade away? Kyron, Etienne, London for? I don't know why you're trading any of those guys. I don't really get the context here. Those are all good players. If you had to, I mean, Etienne's the weakest link here, so I would do that. But at the same time, like, if you're trading away Travis Etienne, I would like to be able to get Michael Pittman back in return, something like that. I got CD in here. What's up, CD? He says, what's up? Tuned in from work. Good to see you, man. Happy to always have you in the chat. I've got Cena in here saying, what do I do with Chuba and Rico if I have both? If you have both, you're either playing both or I don't want the headache of trying to decide. So either you're playing both each week, right? And that's how your roster looks. And you're like, okay, I'm getting 2 flex-worthy RB2s, whatever. Or you're just packaging them both together and you're trying to tier up, right? Take both of them. See if you can go get somebody like Kyron, somebody like Ken Walker. Yeah, that's probably about the only thing you could do there. I see E Dizzle over on the T-Witch. Thanks for coming through, man, over on the Purple app. If you're not already following over there, your chat experience is going to be quite a bit better. He says, do I trade away Breece Hall for Pacheco and Jalen Warren? I need running backs. Now, if this is Dynasty, absolutely not. If it's redraft, I'm still not doing it. The Pacheco piece is not enough for me. Like, I need more than Pacheco. I like Jalen Warren. But, like, I would do this deal if I'm getting, like, Stephon Diggs and Jalen Warren. I'd do that one. I'd do that one there. Douglas is saying the same trade package I was talking about, but add Garrett Wilson, and he adds Rome. Well, the one you were saying before is you give up Swift and Cam for Nico Collins and Luke McCaffrey. So now what? You're giving up Cam, Swift, and Garrett Wilson for Nico Collins and Roma Dunze. That's fine. This doesn't really like change too much for me, Douglas. I think it's about the same trade at the end of the day. That's fine. Joseph, I'm going to pin this comment. Guys, if you're one of the 100 plus over on TikTok, really hard for me to keep up with the chat perfectly, so please drop a follow so I can pin your comments so I can read them easier and makes my life way better. I appreciate you guys. All right. Let's see. I've got Josh in here. What's up, Josh? Joseph asked first. I have Debo, Tet, and Adunze and Gibbs. How do I sell for better wide receivers? Well, your wide receivers are good. I mean, I'm selling Debo here. You have Tet, Wilson, and Adunze. You're fine rolling with them. You have Jahmyr Gibbs. Let's take Deebo Samuel and someone who's on your bench, like a Rico Dowdle, like a Zach Charbonnet, like somebody, DeAndre Swift, someone who's kind of in that RB2 range. Let's tear up. Let's go get Kyron. Let's go get James Cook. Let's go get Josh Jacobs. I mean, that's probably the best move that you could be making at this point. Max, what's good, man? Good to see you. I'm going to pin that comment. I'm going to hop over to T-Witch. I got Chance as a first-time chatter. Thanks so much for coming through. He says, Chase Brown and Tet for Rome and Derrick Henry. I'll take the Rome and Derrick Henry side there. I got ZXX saying Barcode here. What's up, man? What's up, Barcode? Good to have you over on the T-Witch. Way better viewing experience, hopefully, for you over here. He says, I'm in a predicament playing top 2 running backs this week. Should I trade Kyron and May for Jacobs? No, I wouldn't. I mean, I think Kyron and Jacobs are in a pretty similar range. I do have Jacobs, a little bit above him, but I just don't think that giving up Drake May for that is probably the move I would make. I mean, if you have a ton of quarterback depth and Drake May is just a throw-in piece for you, then fine, but I don't know how he would be at this point. Drake May is giving you like top 10 production. Crazy says, I have them, Adunze, Tet, Rashad White, and Neighbors as a 10-man. I feel like I need to make some sort of moves. Also, playoff schedule on them aren't ideal. Yeah, I'm fine with that. Swaggy Diddy, thanks so much for following along on the T-Witch. If you're not already checking me out on the Purple app, your viewing experience will be far better over there. So hopefully I get to see you guys over there. If you're one of the 118 on TikTok right now, please drop a follow so that I can pin your comments and make my chat a hell of a lot more readable. I got Asian Boy Wilden. That's quite the name. You say, should I start Justin Herbert or Daniel Jones? I think you're starting Daniel Jones, honestly. It sounds crazy, but you are. Jeff says, is Swift a good trade target? Yeah, I think so. I think he's a good value budget buy right now. Still doesn't have a lot of name value. A lot of people are down on him. I'm one of them. I'm not a big DeAndre Swift guy, but I'm willing to look at the numbers and admit that he's giving you solid RB2 numbers, and if you can go out there and get him for a cheap price, I think it's a fine investment. Not to mention, he does have a pretty decent schedule coming up here. Baltimore's defense is ass. Cincinnati is ass. The New York Giants just let the Broncos put up 30 unanswered on him. Minnesota is doable. Pittsburgh let Seattle run all over them, so it's not like they have the best run defense in the world either. The playoff schedule is brutal, right? So your time to trade DeAndre Swift is kind of after you ride him through this stretch, right? Like after week 10, week 11, I'm fine just getting rid of him. But using him as a rental ain't bad. Rigged Monkey, what's up, man? Thanks so much for coming through and dropping the follow over on the T-Witch. He says, what do I try to get in a bundle of JCM or JMC? I'm thinking you're saying JCM and Fergie. Okay, I mean, if you're going to package those two guys together, yeah, I think, like I said, I'm going for Tet. I'm going for someone kind of in that middle wide receiver range. So Tet, I'm going for DK. I'm going for Devontae Adams if possible. I'm going, for Michael Pittman. I think all those are good options for you, Rigged Monkey. I got Swaggy Diddy. What's up, man? Ladd or Keenan rest of the season? I think until you see otherwise, you got to be going Keenan Allen. You need a running back upgrade? Yeah. Okay, running back upgrade. Then let's flip the script and go kind of the same direction. Cam Scatterbo, Javonte Williams, all those guys are guys I want. I think obviously if you could go buy Kyron Williams or James Cook in that range, I would. That would probably be about what I'm looking at doing here. Obviously the Gibbs and the McCaffreys are out of your budget here, but if someone's still willing to move on from Judkins, I'd do that one. Damn, Joe only wants to trade Olave for BTJ. Yeah, that's not happening. That's a little bit of an overpay there. Should I trade Ladd and Brock for Jefferson? I would probably do that for Justin Jefferson, yes. I'm good with it. I just think at this point the Raiders are such a dumpster fire. It's because you have his first. Yeah, sorry, bro. Sorry. It's true. All right. JCRD, incredible. Mason Taylor for Schultz. This is such a lateral move. I think they'll both score about the same the rest of the season. So, do I prefer Schultz? Slightly, but not by a lot. I think this is a lateral move. I'd probably just wait. Abby is asking, time to panic on Saquon. I'm not. I'm buying a lot of Saquon this week. I've been out sending offers left and right. I think a lot of people are panicking. Yeah, the Eagles' offensive line has looked terrible, but I do think this is, what comes with a change in offensive coordinator and a change in scheme. I do believe in the genuine talent on that roster to be able to overcome this. So yeah, I would just be buying Saquon and just being patient. I mean, at the very worst, I'm more of a dynasty guy, obviously, that you guys know. So I always look at it as, even if they don't figure it out perfectly this season, they'll either fire the offensive coordinator or they'll come back and sort it out in the offseason, and Saquon will be right back to where he was. Guys, as a reminder, if you are over on TikTok, please drop the follow so that I can pin your comments like this with Abby. It makes my chat so much more readable. I'm trying to juggle chats across the tube that is made for you, the T-Witch Purple app, and all the others at the same time. So do your boy a favor and help me keep everything organized here. I've got Roxa saying, would you trade JCM and DJ Moore for who? For Bowers? Yeah. Those two players mean nothing to me compared to Bowers. Mikel, what's up, man? He says, Ross, Sutton, or Flowers? Sutton. It would be Sutton. I have buy problems. Do I start Pacheco or pick up Monangai? I mean, you could start Pacheco at that point, but Monangai should be rostered at this point, depending on the format of your league. I got Chancho saying, Chancho, what's up, Chancho? These stretchy pants. It's trading Olave, Chubb, or Rico and Golden for Henry and Swift a good trade. I'd probably go with the Henry and Swift one. Yeah. Swaggy Diddy, who's your tight end one rest of the season? I have McBride on my team. Yes, it's McBride. I mean, you got me there. It is Trey McBride. Outside of that, it's Trey McBride, Tyler Warren, and probably Jake Ferguson. And then I'll go Tucker Kraft 4, Brock Bowers 5. And yeah, that's where we're about there. My friend wants Wan'Dale and Ramondre Stevenson for Hampton, but my backup running backs are Saquon, Stevenson, Chubb, and Justice Hill. He wants Wan'Dale and Ramondre Stevenson for Hampton. I want the Hampton side here. So I'm not sure which side you're on, but give me the Hampton side. Let's see. Rexo. No worries. Booty Bandit. What's up, Booty? Yo, I'm back, and I still need advice for Week 8, knowing my main wide receiver, Jackson Smith-Njigba, is going to be out on bye. I feel you. Well, what are your options? I'll try to help you the best I can, all right? Let me know in the chat. Thoughts on Chuba and Dowdle timeshare? I did talk about this. I'll pull it up again. I got no issue going over a couple things for folks in the chat since it is a hot topic right now. I think, unfortunately, it's either like you're starting both of them or you're starting neither of them. I just don't really want the headache too much. I mean, it is going to be a split backfield. I do think it's Chuba's backfield for the most part, even though Rico ends up coming out and looking a little bit better this week on the first week back for Chuba. He does come out, averages a little 4.5 yards a carry, 17 carries to Chuba's 12. So he outsnaps him a bit. But at the same time, like, I do think money talks, and Chuba did get a good deal, got the payday. I think that for the most part these two are going to be kind of just causing you a headache for the rest of the season here, and so I'm not entirely thrilled to be juggling my weekly who should I play question. I'd rather just move them both together in a package and go tier up. All right, guys, I'm going to start pinning some of the TikTok chats, even though I'm juggling a bunch of chats across platform here. If you're not already following on TikTok, please do me a favor and make my chat far more readable by dropping a follow so I can pin your comment. If you're not following, I cannot pin you, and it definitely makes my life a lot more difficult. So it would be greatly appreciated. Teddy Smith saying, what should I do with Saquon? Well, what you should do with Saquon is be patient and wait, because I do believe Saquon Barkley will be totally fine. But if you are not a Saquon owner, I'm buying him. I am buying him. I've got Big Chungus saying trade Swift and Worthy for Hampton. That's a yes. I'll take the Hampton side comfortably, and I'm running away to the bank with it. I've got Ryan over here asking, is Puka and Judkins for Gibbs and Kyron a good trade? I have good wide receivers already with Jay Jettis in London. This one, I would be saying Puka and Judkins for Gibbs and Kyron. No, I'll just keep the Puka and Judkins side there. I've got Neo Wolf on the T-Witch. What's up, man? First time chatter. Thanks so much for coming through. Appreciate you supporting over here. He says, should I start Olave or Judkins as a flex? You got to be going with Judkins at this point. He's just playing too dominantly. Now, these are two players that I think should be on your starting lineup regardless. I mean, Chris Olave is one of the most targeted players in football right now, so, I like the volume you're seeing out of him, but Judkins is a dog. Jay Watts, thank you as well for coming through on the T-Witch. If you guys are not already checking me out on the Purple app, the Witch that starts with the T, your viewing experience and your chat experience is going to be far better over there. He says, should I do Jamar for Judkins and Pickens? Not enough. I like the Judkins piece. I'm not sold enough on the Pickens side. Like, I would do this if it was Judkins in London. I need a better wide receiver in this package. Booty Bandit, my current wide receivers on my team are Cortland Sutton and Mika, and one in the flex position. I got Ladd, and on my bench I have Tez Johnson. Yeah, it's not great. It's not great, but honestly, Tez should be able to get you through the week. And, you got a Mika. He'll go hard. Cortland Sutton, you'll be fine with that JSN for 1 week. Mocha2476, what's up, Mocha? Thanks for coming through. First-time chatter. Hopefully I can help you guys out and earn your follows out here. He says, should I trade James Cook and Pittman for Saquon, Waddle, and Goddard? Honestly, man, I would be fine doing this deal for Saquon. I think it's a good deal, honestly. I mean, James Cook definitely started the season extremely hot, but, you've already watched him come back down to earth a little bit here. Michael Pittman is a guy I do prefer to Jalen Waddle, but the difference isn't outrageously massive. And I do think getting Saquon and Goddard make up enough for this. So, yeah, I'm comfortable doing this deal as a buy low for Saquon Barkley. E-Dizzle made the trade. Breece Hall for Jalen Warren and Diggs. I like it, man. I like it. That should be a good split deal for you. You should get good production there. Neo Wolf says, I got offered Saquon for Rice. What should I do? My receivers are good with Collins in London. I'm probably taking Saquon, like, comfortably here, to be completely frank with you, Neo. I think that's it. Is Rico a sell high? Rico was a sell high after the 2 40-point games he gave you, and even now he's still a sell, yes. I would be selling him if you can get good production at the wide receiver position, or hell, even a decent tight end. I would probably do it. Like, if I could flip Rico Dowdle for Tucker Kraft, and you're currently starting Arondre Gadsden or something, like, yeah, of course, let's do it. If you're one of the 120 plus over on TikTok guys, just like Matthew here, make my chat so much easier for me. Please drop a follow so I can pin your comments. I would greatly appreciate it. I got Graydon saying thoughts on Rico Dowdle and Waddle. Yeah, like I said, Rico Dowdle is a flex-worthy guy with running back 2 upside on occasion here. I'm probably just trading him away. Waddle is going to be very quarterback dependent. Tua has been playing like absolute ass, which is nothing new, and we all know that, so that's unfortunate, but at the same time, I think he gives you some decent wide receiver 2 games. The games that Tua wasn't throwing 6 picks and turning the ball over a million times, you were at least getting 100-yard performances out of him. Kyle says, yo, thoughts on Tez Johnson the rest of the season? Yeah, I mean, Tez Johnson at this point will definitely, have decent performance here. Like, with Mike Evans going out, he's going to see some volume. He's going to see some action. And from that point forward, like, you're probably getting at least flex-worthy play out of Tez Johnson. And so I'm not locking and loading him as like a wide receiver 2 or wide receiver 3, but I think as a flex option on deeper rosters, like, absolutely no problem, rolling him out and giving him a shot here. I got A.J. Barner or Dalton Schultz. I like that question. I am going to take Barner just barely, but I do think both of them are giving you solid production right now. I got Booty Bandit saying, yeah, I know I got great running backs. There's CMC, Bijan, IDK by Derrick Henry. Man, I mean, that's loaded. I got Edizzle saying trade away Amika and Diggs for Josh Jacobs. Yeah, I'd do it for Josh Jacobs, but I'm more inclined to do the Diggs for Chase Brown if you just need running back depth. Let's just do that one. I think I'm good with that one. Give me the Chase Brown value option, then he can hold Amika here. Rachel says, would you trade away Ken Walker and Jerry Jeudy for Chris Olave? I would be doing I would be doing the Chris Olave side, yeah. Cole, what's up, Cole? Guys, if you are over on TikTok, please make my chat more readable. Drop a follow so that I can pin your comments like this. If you are over on the T-Witch or on the tube that's made for you, your chat experience will be quite a bit better, just a heads up. So if you're not already checking me out on those apps, go ahead and do it. My username is the exact same everywhere, so you shouldn't have any problem finding me. Cole's saying Flowers and Hubbard for Saquon, easy. Give me the Barkley deal a million times out of a million. This is the greatest buy I've seen today. Dowdle, QJ, and Mason Taylor for Saquon. Yes, Saquon again. Give me Saquon every day of the week and twice on Sunday. Merritt for Monty. I will take Monty. Is this the week Brees Hall scores a touchdown? I don't believe in anything that the Jets are doing. Tucker Kraft at a flex, is that a bad option? No. Tucker Kraft at the flex is a totally fine option, and I'm all good with it. Spider-Man, what's up, man? Thanks for coming through over on the T-Witch. Appreciate you checking me out. He says, should I be patient on George Kittle? Yeah, you absolutely should. I think, George Kittle comes back. They use him a lot in the run-blocking game. He ends up performing really well from that perspective. I mean, look at what Christian McCaffrey was able to do on the ground, and I think you saw a noticeable difference just by having George Kittle back, one of the best blocking tight ends in football. Outside of that, though, it's National Tight Ends Day coming up. They always love to feed the tight ends. I think George Kittle will give you an absolute spite week in the next few weeks, so nothing too crazy on that. Flow Shots in here. What's up, my man? SOS, man. I really need a flex. Arondre Gadsden, Kyle Monangai, Dalton Schultz, Tez Johnson. I mean, out of the group, I'm probably going to play Tez Johnson there. It's not great options, though, for you, Bretta. Sorry about that. I got Kevin in here. What's up, Kevin? He says, Nico, Chase Brown, Purdy for Jacobs. I have no wide receivers and quarterback. Nico, Chase Brown, and Purdy for Jacobs. Yeah. I mean, this is a gross overpay, but if you're getting the package, I feel way better about it. Give me the package deal. Like, I want the package, not the Josh Jacobs side here. Okay, Halmert says, who do I pick up this week? Xavier Legette or Marvin Mims? Why either of them? They're awful. Yeah, I don't like either option. To be completely frank with you, I'm gonna say Xavier Legette if I had to, but honestly, I hate them both. Colts or Falcons? You got to go with the Colts defense this week. I think they're playing the Tennessee Titans. That's normally a good bet for success. Guys, if you're not already following Near One the 120 Plus on TikTok, please, please, please do me a favor and drop a follow so that I can pin your comment and make my chat so much more readable. All right, I got Xavier in here doing the deed. He says, do I drop my number one waiver wire claim on Brashad Smith in a 12-man league? Depends on what your roster looks like, man. I mean, Brashad Smith definitely is going to get you some production here, more in the receiving game than anything else. I'm not outrageously thrilled by anybody in that Chiefs backfield that I can rely on consistently. So if you need to, I guess this is your time, but I'd probably just hold it. I still think there'll be some handcuff pickups for you to pick up, by the end of the season that'll potentially be league winners. I mean, look at all the injuries you've already seen. I don't think they're going to slow down. I got a funny username here. What would you trade Rico and Amika for Henry and Tet? Or, sorry, would you trade Rico and Amika for Henry and Tet? Yeah, I would. Give me Henry here. Ryan says, how do you feel about me giving Puka and Gibbs if my running backs are bad? My wide receivers are Jay Jettis and London. Giving Puka for Gibbs if my RBs are bad and wide receivers are Jay Jettis and London. I think Puka for Gibbs is not that bad of a deal, but I would like to get a tiny bit more back on the Gibbs side. So, like, even Gibbs and Charbonnet would probably get me there. Gibbs and Stephon Diggs, something like that. If you got to do it 1-for-1 and he won't budge, though, then this is a fine trade. You're probably just swapping assets. Noah says Sutton and Dowdle for Cook and Tucker. I'll just take the Cook side here. Best piece of the trade. What should I look into getting if I'm selling Purdy? Tough question, Cash. Is this a dynasty question? Dynasty Superflex? Brock Purdy's probably worth 2 firsts. or the equivalent value. So, could you go get Ken Walker plus Dak Prescott? That's probably what I would do. Tear down a little bit. Jared Goff, someone like that. Get a little older at quarterback. But not the end of the world. Whew. Okay, we've been live for 2 hours and 15 minutes answering everybody's questions. If you're not already a follower across all the viewpoints here that I got, I'm looking at the TikTok, I'm looking at the T-Witch, I'm looking at the tube that's made for you. If you guys are not checking me out on those places or already subscribed, would greatly appreciate it. We are going live tomorrow on San Diego Sports 760 Radio every Wednesday for my radio show. If you're not already a member of the Discord, I will be streaming the radio show so you can get all my call-outs of the week in there through the iHeartRadio app. If you're not a member of the Discord, either visit my website that's pinned on my profile, dynastypricecheck.com, and click the Join Free Discord button, or send me a message that just says Discord, and I will respond to you with an invite link so that you can get access to that. Last week during my radio show, I said you got to be starting Noah Fant this week. He's going to be a great streaming tight end option, available in 76% of your leagues. And guess who came on out there and gave you 18.5 points? That would be your man, Noah Fant. This is what I do. The research is for you guys. If you are looking to get my locks on the picks and extra help with your rosters and trade advice, the Discord that is entirely free is going to be your best way to do so. If you appreciate what I'm doing here, streaming, answering all you guys' questions for free, think about clicking over to my website and either subscribing to my Patreon and helping me out that way, or just simply buying me a coffee in the top corner of the website. It's just a little donation. 20% of all proceeds will go to our partnership with the San Diego Food Bank to try to package meals for families in need this season. My goal was to give away 100 meals before the end of the week. That would be great. If you guys are around and want to contribute, would be greatly appreciative. I'll get back to answering some questions here, but we are going to take a break in about a half hour as we've already been live for over 2 hours and 15 minutes. I've got Nick P in here. What's up, Nick P? Got to give you the shout out because I can see a dynasty question here, and those are my favorites. 26 first and two first, a 26 and 27, and DK for Puka. Man, it's a big pay. It's a big pay. If you're a contending roster, I'll do this deal. If you're rebuilding, no. So I'll do this deal if you're contending. H-Town Rob's back in the chat. You'll love to see some of the main man coming through here. Good to see you, H-Town. I appreciate you. Guys, if you're not already following over here on TikTok, please drop a follow so I can pin your comment and make my chat a bit more readable. I got start Daniel Jones or Justin Herbert. I'll go with Danny Dimes here. Would you trade Diggs for Breece Hall? I would take the Breece Hall side here, yes. Do I start Rico or Chuba? Honestly, if you have both of them, you're probably starting both. And if you don't, then I'm probably just packaging them together and trading them away so I don't have the headache of trying to decide every single damn week which one to do. Who is the best wide receiver to pick up this week from the waiver wire? Probably not a lot of great options for you out there. Maybe a Pop Douglas, maybe a Troy Franklin if he's available in your league. You know, a couple of guys like that will be giving you some help. Tez Johnson's a guy I like this week with all the injuries in Tampa Bay. So those are probably going to be some of the guys you're going with there. Danny says Abuka and Monty for Saquon and Hollywood Brown. I think I'm going to take the Saquon side here. Has nothing to do with the receivers involved. It's just Abuka or Saquon, and I just prefer Saquon. Rexo says Wandale and Ramondre Stevenson for Hampton. I get Hampton. Yes. Give me Hampton. Yeah. You don't know what it means? It means I like the Hampton side better. Yeah, give me the Hampton side for sure, for sure. Okay. I've got Jacob. What's up, Jacob? He is saying, traded Mike Evans and Vidal for Pittman. Did I win? Yes, you won by a mile. Mike Evans is out for the season, my friend. Good job. We've got JSN for Abuka and Judkins. Not a lot of times I'm going to be moving away from JSN. I've got his jersey sitting right next to me here, but this is a deal that I like making. I will take the Judkins side. Judkins is a dog. Guys, if you are one of the if you are one of the listeners on TikTok, please drop a follow so that I can pin your comment just like I did here and make my chat a bit more readable. trying to juggle across the Twitch and YouTube as well. I've got Hayden on here saying, traded Brian Thomas Jr. and Warren for Saquon and Downs. I already have Rashee, Abuka, and Rome. That's a W. You know, again, I think some of these trades are so situational, right? You already have a strong receiver room. You wanted to get better at your running back position and buy a guy that you normally wouldn't have been able to afford. I'm happy with it. Thoughts on Odunze rest of the season? I haven't changed my opinion on Rome at all. I think he's a top 12 receiver rest of the season. I think he's an extremely smooth route runner, great high pointer of the ball, has a lot of upside. I like it. I've got Hawkinson start or Hunter. Probably going to just go, if this is Hunter Henry, I'll lean Hawkinson. But if it's Travis Hunter, I might just play Travis Hunter here. Keep Bucky or seek a trade. You're keeping Bucky. I mean, if you're seeking a trade, I don't know exactly what you'd be looking to get. Like, if you could flip off Bucky Irving just on name value for Javonte Williams plus like a kickback receiver, like a Stephon Diggs or something, fine. But I don't know exactly what you'd be doing. Zachy Poo. What's up, Zachy Poo? You say I need some trade help? Well, you come to the right place, my man. I am here to help all you guys out. However, Zach, your best place to ask all your trade questions and post your roster along with it is in the free Discord. So if you're not already a member there, go ahead and just click on my profile right here and go to the website, dynastypricecheck.com. That's pinned in the description. And you can go ahead and click the join free Discord button on the homepage. I've got Aiden Cab over on the tube that's made for you saying trade Gibbs and Addison for Bucky and Saquon. Yeah, give me the Saquon and Bucky side pretty confidently here. I'm thrilled on that one. Good job. I've got Santiago saying, what do I do with my rec court? Puka, Debo, Worthy, McConkey. I mean, if you're doing anything here, I'm just moving off Debo Samuel and seeing if I can roll it into a better running back. Like Debo for Ken Walker, Debo for Chuba Enrico, Debo for, who else could I get? Javonte Williams, Scadaboo, anyone in that range. Let's just shoot off offers left and right. Baby Drew, what's up, Baby Drew? Hey, I have JJ, Rice, QJ, and AJ, Marks, and Rashad. Which do you think can get me AJ? What do you think I can get for AJ Brown and Hased? You think Rashad? Is that what you're saying? AJ Brown and Rashad White? You trying to get a running back? Let's go and see if I could get see if I can go get Cam Scadaboo. Dilf Zach, what's up, Zach? He says, which side do you like better for redraft? CD Dart, Jordan Mason, Gibbs Goff, Josh Downs. I think I like the Gibbs and Goff side just ever so slightly. I love the stack idea there, too. Every time he passes a touchdown pass to Jahmyr Gibbs on a little dump off, you're getting double. I think the stack is what's selling me here, honestly. Like, in a vacuum, CD, Gibbs, about the same. Dart, I probably have about the same as Goff with the rushing upside, you know, but at the same time, Goff is on a way better offense. And Josh Downs, Jordan Mason, both don't mean a ton to me. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with the stack. Give me Goffs and Gibbs here. All right, guys. If you're over on TikTok, like I've been saying, please go ahead and drop a follow so that I can pin your comments and make my chat way more readable. It would be greatly appreciated. I got Ravi saying JSN or Amon-Ra. Still Amon-Ra, but just barely. You think that Monty for Ramondre Stevenson was a good trade? It's completely even. It's just two running back twos swapping for each other. You're just taking a coin flip and throwing it in the air and saying, I wonder which one's going to play better this week. You have no consistency with those guys, so, you know, I think it's fine. I don't know if it's, like, that much better. You probably prefer Ramondre just slightly. Connor says, what do you think of me trading Bill and Wandale for Garrett Wilson? I think that's a massive W, and I'm proud of you. I would love to love to give you a handshake for that one. Brandon says Tet and Etienne for Judkins and Ayuk. If this is Dynasty, I want the Tet side. If it is redraft, I want the Judkins side. Okay. Gwaske says, what do I do with my team? I got McCaffrey, Bucky, Genty, Dowdle, White, London, and Ibuka. Well, seems like you have a great team. You're definitely not moving McCaffrey or Bucky or Genty, really. If anything, I'll take Dowdle and White, package them together, target the most running back needy team in the league, and see if I can go get another wide receiver or get somebody that I could flex or tier up at my quarterback position. Like, are you currently starting Trevor Lawrence? Well, let's go get Dak Prescott, in some sort of a package deal. That's probably kind of where we're at. I've got Keeson. What's up, Keeson? Saying Rashi Rice and CD for CMC. I'm going to hold the package. Michael, what's up, man? What, my boy, what's good? Good to see Michael in here, guys. If you guys are not already a member of the free Discord and you want a chance to talk with me and Michael, one of my awesome mods and close personal friend who knows plenty about football and would be thrilled to interact with you guys and hopefully help me and help me help you, win your dynasty and your redraft leagues this year. Go ahead and check out my website, dynastypricecheck.com. That is pinned on my profile, and hop into the free Discord. Please also drop a follow here on TikTok if you're not already, so that I can pin your comments along with our chat here. We have been live for 2 hours and 25 minutes. We're going to keep on rolling for another 10 minutes or so, and then I am going to take a quick break as my voice is entirely gone, and it has been a good day. I got Doll saying, what's up, dog? What's up, Doll? Good to see you, man. Who is giving Rice and Lamb for CMC? You would be crazy. Lamb alone is not good enough. Lamb alone is good enough. CMC is the best player in all fantasy, but I wouldn't be giving both. No. Swift for Adunze. This has got to be a joke, right? I think it's funny. I'm laughing. Ha ha ha. Let's take the Adunze side by a country mile. I could build a Walmart in between the sides that I would rather have with that trade. Thoughts on Brashad Smith? My thoughts on Brashad Smith as a dynasty stash is that I'm willing to go out and get him for a cheap price, maybe like a third-round pick, if someone's willing to move off him. I think he's got upside in that Kansas City backfield. Now, not a ton, I don't think it's going to be like, he's going to be a workhorse back or anything like that. If anything, he's just got PPR upside for you, so somebody that maybe you could play in a deeper format, like a start 10, start 11. Not my favorite player, but again, I just don't have any faith in, Kareem Hunt or Isaiah Pacheco to really be like a workhorse back at this point, so I think he'll be all right. Sook is saying, can you look at the Discord? I posted my team, would like to know what to improve. Yeah, man, I will be checking out the Discord as always after I get off the live, so if you guys are posting your trades and stuff in there, I'll do my best to get to them and try to help you out as best I can. I got Shea Reyes saying Judkins and Vidal for Ibuka. I would be probably just holding the Judkins side if I'm running back needy. If you have a ton of running back depth, then that's fine. I'll take Ibuka, but I think it's a pretty lateral trade. I think this is more of like what fits your team construction better and what's your current needs, I've got Swift for Johnston. I mean, this is an interesting one. You want to just pin me 2 players that I just kind of want nothing to do with? I mean, at this point, I'd rather just keep DeAndre Swift. Seems like he's actually giving you a top 15 production on a pretty high-powered Ben Johnson offense, so I'll just hold DeAndre Swift here. Not something I thought I was going to be saying at the beginning of the season, but I'll admit my wrongs. Would you trade Josh Allen and Addison for Herbert and JJ? Yeah, I'll take the Justin Jefferson side here. Guys, if you are one of the TikTok members in this chat, go ahead and drop a follow so that I can pin your comments and read your questions a lot easier. I cannot do so if you're not already a part of the community. If you haven't joined the Discord yet, go ahead and join the free Discord. Send me a direct message right now that says Discord. I will respond to you with a link in 10 minutes when I'm off the live. If you're not already viewing me on the other apps, the purple app, the T-Witch, or the red app, the tube that's made for you, those are going to be better chat experiences for you guys, so I'd love to see you over there. And there's going to be some other content coming through on different platforms. Rob D, thank you so much for the gifts, man. Appreciate you coming through the chat and asking some questions. I'm going to pin him right away. He says Jamar for Judkins and Zay. I don't think it's enough, man. I don't think it's enough. I'll take the Jamar side here, especially with Joe Flacco back in and playing, elevating this offense, to some degree comparatively of what you were getting before. I think if I'm moving off Jamar Chase, I'll tell you a package I'd do. I like Judkins. I think that's a good piece, but Zay Flowers doesn't move the needle for me. So if I'm doing a deal like this, I would need Judkins plus Devontae Adams in redraft. I would need Judkins plus at least Drake London, somebody in that range. That would be kind of what I'm looking for. You say or Ibuka for Judkins and Zay. You're getting closer with Amika in there, but again, it's the Zay Flowers piece that I'm not sold on. So if Zay Flowers became DK Metcalf or became Teteroa McMillan, I would do that deal. Or if it became Devontae Adams, I would do that deal for Amika. But that's kind of how I'm looking. Thanks for the gifts, man. Appreciate you. I got Austin in here saying Bucky for Chase Brown and Diggs. Not enough. I'll hold Bucky. I've got Addison worth keeping or sell high. I mean, from a dynasty perspective, I love holding Jordan Addison. I think he's a great asset to have on your roster, kind of build around as a wide receiver too, with a lot of upside. But, if it's redraft, fine. Sell him high. Let's pivot it into a running back. You're absolutely going to need running backs down the stretch in redraft. And, if I can pivot it into a guy like a Ken Walker, a buy low, I'd do it. If I could get the package of Chuba and Rico, I'd probably do that. If I could get J.K. Dobbins plus, I'd do that. Something around those lines. All right. I've got CT35 saying, do I do T-Mac and Kamara for Bucky? I'll take the package here, actually. I'm pretty high on Ted McMillan still. I like the targets he's getting. I think the rest of the season will still be fine for him. I think Kamara just became a league winner after the Kendre Miller injury. And, man, if there's anybody's schedule I like towards the end of the season, it's Alvin Kamara. I mean, I'm just going to show here with Chris Olave, even though, I know we're talking about Alvin Kamara, but same team, okay? As you're approaching the playoffs here, you get Miami, which is great. But then, you got one decently hard matchup against Tampa Bay, even though Seattle ran on them and plenty of teams have done some run-in damage against them. But then for your playoffs, round 1, you get Carolina. Round 2, you get the New York Jets. And for your championship as Alvin Kamara owners, you're getting the Tennessee Titans in probably what is the toilet bowl. And, that's where I'd be. That is where I would be. Jerry Bob, what would you do the rest of the season? Judkins or Achane? Achane. Like Achane for sure. I mean, I like Judkins a lot, but Achane's probably the most consistent player in all of football. Like, outside of Christian McCaffrey, I think Achane's the most consistent player in fantasy. I mean, let's look at the numbers, and you guys can fact check me if you like, but yeah, I mean, he guarantees you a minimum of 15 points per game, and more than that, 16. What's his floor? 16-6? I guess 14-5 in a week where they turn the ball over 3 times and Tua just looks like absolute garbage. Like, what more can he ask for? All right, Irish Magic. What's up, man? He says Addison and Cook for Saquon and Diggs. I'll take the Saquon side here. Cherry Bob, follow-up question. All right, brother. What you got? Ibuka and Henry for Achane and Ladd. I'll take the Achane side. Jonathan Taylor's more consistent. Yeah, there you go. That's fair. CMC, JT. Those are probably the only two. You can maybe throw Josh Jacobs in there just with his touchdown upside. But either way, I'll take a top 5 running back any day of the week. All right. Crossfessor. Would you trade Ibuka for Keenan Allen and Chase Brown? No. That's not nearly enough of a package. I think if you're trading Ibuka away, you should be able to get a really solid haul just based off what I see him go for consistently in the open market. People will pay out their ass for this guy. They like him a lot. Logan, thank you for the follow, my friend. Guys, if you're like Logan, you're not already following, you want your question answered, drop a follow so that I can pin your question. Makes my life easier and my chat way more readable. He says, trade Amon-Ra and Tet for Judkins, Sutton, and Dowdle. No, not even close to enough here. Alone, if I'm trading Amon-Ra, I need Tet. You have Tet. Like, if I'm trading away Amon-Ra, I need Judkins, I need DK Metcalf, and I need Tucker Kraft. Boom. Done. That is one deal done. If you're trading away Tet, I need Jalen Warren plus Stephon Diggs plus Zach Charbonnet. Stack yourself, give yourself some options. That's what you're doing there, okay? That's all I can do for you, man. That is what you got to do. That's not nearly enough. Not nearly enough. I got Elijah in here saying I need running back help. I have Drake London, Abuka, DK Metcalf, Olave, Bourne. What do you think? Who do you think I could trade for? I mean, here honestly, I'm probably splitting Abuka. I think I'm splitting Abuka, and I'm seeing if I can get Kyron Williams and Stephon Diggs. And I think that's what you're doing here, okay? Shane, what's up, Shane? Shane says, I just traded White and Adunze for Judkins and Irving. I'm great with that. That's great. Trade Puka for Amon-Ra and Addison. That's fine. I'll do that. Yeah, if you need depth, that's a fine trade. I mean, I don't have Amon-Ra that deep, like that far off of Puka. So, Chef Mackie Mac says Gadsden or Taylor at tight end. Taylor. I'll go Mason Taylor here. Would you guys trade away Keenan or Addison? I mean, if it's a dynasty, obviously we're trading away Keenan Allen. If it's just redraft, I think I'll lean in and trade Addison away. Rob D, what's up, Rob D? Rob D says, what about Judkins and Tet for Jamar? I'll take Jamar. I'll take Jamar there. Stever, what's up, Stever? He says, thoughts on Rashee Rice and Jefferson? Very broad question. Justin Jefferson, one of the best wide receivers in football. I think he's very productive. Only thing I don't like about him is his quarterback situation. Rashee Rice, I love his quarterback situation, and I like his PPR upside. And he comes out right out of the suspension and plays well. So there you go. Marks says Ladd and Jacobs for Scadabo and Amon-Ra. I'll take the Scadabo and Amon-Ra side. Court, what's up, Court? Court says trade McCaffrey, Nico Collins, Kraft for Rashee Rice, Gibbs, and Ertz. McCaffrey, Nico Collins, Kraft for Rashee Rice, Gibbs, and Ertz. No, I'm just gonna hold CMC. Pickens or Diggs rest of the season? It's pretty damn close, honestly. I'll probably take Pickens just barely, but it's just because that Dallas offense is humming. Guys, if you're one of the 100 plus in the chat and you're not already following, please make my chat so much more readable and drop a follow so that I can pin your comment just like this. Make my life a bit easier. Did you trade away Kyron, Adams, and JCM for JJ, Tet, and Chase Brown? Kyron, Adams, JCM. Yeah, I'll take the Justin Jefferson and Tet side here. Ben, what's up, Ben? Ben says, traded Keenan, Dowdle, and Etienne for Saquon. Love it. Absolutely love it. Otten, Schultz, or Hawkinson. I mean, honestly, at this point, none of them are a bad play. I probably would lean Cade Otten just with the amount of injuries that are going on, but Schultz would be my number 2. At this point, I'd just trade away T.J. Hawkinson, roll him into another player. Like, go take T.J. Hawkinson and Rico Dowdle and see if you can go get Chase Brown, right? To give yourself someone who's got a good playoff schedule with some upside. Guys, I am going to hop off here pretty soon in the next 5 minutes or so. If I can't get to your question right now, I'll be live again later tonight. So make sure you're following along here, whether you're watching on TikTok, on the tube that is made for you, or on Twitch, the Purple app. Your viewing experiences are going to be a bit better on the Purple and the Red app, just as a heads up to my 100+ TikTok listeners here. If you're not already following, though, a quick follow here would very much be appreciated. Then I can make my chat a bit easier to read and pin your guys' questions. If you're worried about getting your question answered and you know I can't get to everybody, where I can get to you is in the free Discord that is pinned on my profile here. So just go over to my website. It is pinned on my profile. Click the Join Free Discord button. If you want to go ahead and send me a direct message here on TikTok instead that says Discord, I will send you an invite link and make your life way easier. It's not too bad. All right. Derrick Henry or Cook. I think Cook is more consistent, so I'll go with Cook. I've got Gone saying acquire Saquon for Kyron. I also have Bijan. Yes, give me Barkley over Kyron. Liam says, who wins? Jay Jettis, Achane, and A.J. Brown for CMC and Nico and Keenan. I am going to be just taking the first side there, the Jay Jettis and Achane side. JV says, I have DK, Jamar, Higgins, and Addison. Which running back should I target? I'd be taking T. Higgins, and I would be trying to flip him for Ken Walker, Chase Brown, Alvin Kamara, someone like that has a favorable playoff schedule and is not too expensive. Texas Hector, what's up, man? Nilland is asking a dynasty question. I'm going to go ahead and get it. If you guys are not already a dynasty, if you were a dynasty player and you're not already in the Discord, please hop over to the Discord. I would love to have you guys in there. I've got Arondre Gadsden moving for a second and a fourth-round pick in 2026 in one of my listener leagues. Nice to see that trade go down, and I just processed it. MJ Walsh, if you're out there in the chat, man, what do you think about that one? Where are you landing on the Arondre Gadsden thing? But I don't think MJ is in the chat anymore. It is a bummer. No worries, man. Neeland, I did see Kittle, Rico, Judy, 2 firsts and a second and a third for Baker, Puka, and Swift. I'll take the Baker and Puka side. I'm assuming you're contending if you're making a move like that, so those are probably going to be late firsts. Yeah. Mason says, should I start Monungai or Algier? Probably Monungai. Texas Hector, what's up, man? Got offered CD for Jamar. Yeah. Rest of the season, I think I'm going CD. It's just such a lateral trade. No. Hold Jamar Chase. Hold Jamar Chase. It's just, this is a useless move. These guys are going to finish within, 10 points of each other at the end of the season, and break that down over 10 games. You're talking about a 1-point difference. I don't know if it's really enough to sell me either side. Frazier says, trade Hall and Shaheed for Hampton and Keenan Allen. I'm 5-2. I'll take the Hampton side by quite a big margin. Guys, I think that's going to be it for me. I've been live almost 3 hours for you today. Appreciate you guys coming through on all the apps here. If you're not already following along here on TikTok or on Twitch or on the tube that's made for you, the red play button app, please go ahead and check me out across platforms. Guys, would greatly appreciate your support. Even if you're already following on one of them, a follow on all of them would be even better. If you are not already a member of the free Discord, you can catch me on my radio show, San Diego 760 Sports Radio, tomorrow, Wednesday, every Wednesday. I will be streaming through the iHeartRadio app on the Discord, so you can catch all my locks of the week. Last week I was telling you, you got to pick up Noah Fant, not rostered in 76% of your leagues, and he went off for 18.5 points. Yeah, I said he was a must-start in the matchup, and I will be giving you my weekly locks again during the radio show tomorrow. So again, if you're not following along or you're not already a member of the free Discord so that you get access to all this information, send me a direct message right now that says Discord, or hop over to my website that is pinned on my profile, dynastypricecheck.com, and click the join free Discord button. I will be back live again for you guys later tonight, my second live session of the day. Today, we went for 2 hours and 45 minutes right here. If you do appreciate what I'm doing, I would greatly appreciate either a Patreon subscription from you guys so that I can continue to help you more through some of the locked Patreon channels, or simply go over to my website that's pinned on my profile and buy me a coffee in the top right corner so that I can keep talking at a million auctioneering pace for you guys, both on here and on the sports radio. Thank you guys so much for all your support here. Greatly appreciate it as always. If you think that TV is overrated and radio is way cooler, you know where to find me. Romeo says, when's the next Discord only? We are going to be doing a Discord only before Thursday Night Football this week. Going to go ahead and post an announcement about it just in a couple of minutes here. So I will see you guys on Thursday before Thursday Night Football in the Discord for a members-only chat where you can hop in the voice chat and talk to me. We were doing a watch party last night for 5 hours where I talked all about your fantasy teams during that Seattle Seahawks beatdown of the Texans. It was fantastic. If you guys want a chance to talk to me directly on the voice channel, that's another place to find me in the Discord, and we can just have a conversation like humans instead of me talking at you through the TikTok or Twitch or YouTube Live. Thank you guys so much for everything. As always, appreciate your support, and I will be catching you in just a little bit. Friendly reminder, check me out on Patreon. That is pinned on my website, or go ahead and just buy me a coffee on the link on my website, and 20% of all proceeds are going to be going to our partnership with the San Diego Food Bank to package meals for families in need. Thank you guys so much. Appreciate you. Catch you on the radio tomorrow, and again for another stream tonight, and we'll be seeing you soon. Cheers.